Spoilers, we do.
Spoilers. We're still capable. We still got it, boys. Wait for that go live thing. We have any other pressers at the end of this year, or is that it? Game Awards pretty much is the end.
I think we are pretty much done.
Nobody mentioned like a state of play or anything.
No, I imagine that'll be next year.
There's our go live.
I saw it too.
I mean, why have a state of play when everybody's just going to be bitching about how disappointed they are? So,
what are they disappointed in?
That's why they always are. It doesn't have this, doesn't have that.
We need games.
It's the worst generation.
In some ways, yes. In some ways, no. I'm sure we'll get to a point we look back and it's like, man, those were some awesome titles.
Oh no, this has been a great generation. What do you mean?
Yeah.
First party wise, it's like, it's okay. It's not horrible.
Yeah, I think that's the takeaway.
Yeah, I think we've pretty much seen the death of first party at this point.
Oh,
because they're all
death of it. It's just the slow decline of the AAA games.
Darth.
They've all realized that, hey, we like money and these games are costing more and more money. We need to, we'll keep them on our system for like, I don't know, 8 months to a year, and then start putting it at other places.
The shareholders need us to do blink, blink, blink. All right, let's do this thing.
The hell? Oh.
We need to wait.
Wrapping it.
Should we wait?
No.
you heard something. You had something
I heard
going
something
on.
through the wall, but I think she's rummaging through the closet and wrapping some gifts, so that's probably all that was. But I just heard a loud thump, and I was like, shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 376 of the NOFODcast. We are No Outside Food or Drink, the Southeast premier video game and holiday break podcast. That's right. We enjoyed a fantastic holiday break. Hopefully you did as well. But we have some news. Not a shit ton. I think most of it's going to be in this Game Awards thing, right? And there's going to be some updates for the paid services we pay for. Tonight's news, there are more games on Nintendo Switch Online and Nintendo Switch Online Plus. We have your December PlayStation Essentials and Game Pass titles. And we recap everything from the Game Awards. The news that Brant McKee has built specifically says everything from the Game Awards, not a question mark, but an exclamation point. I'm one of your hosts, Richard Bergman, joined tonight by aforementioned newsmaster Brant McKee. Brant, welcome.
What's up?
Brant, thank you for building this news. You condensed 2 weeks of news down into three-ish stories.
Yeah, there's some other stuff there, but this is the important stuff.
As Cesar said we would be here all night, right? If we went through everything.
We would. We really would.
I would learn how to sleep while
sleep with my eyes open.
Oh, it would be a dedicated news show. I don't enjoy those as much. If there's a lot that's spinning up conversation, we have a lot to contribute. And there's some things I'm excited about from this Game Awards show, but just going over
that last
pressers and
that
things
last
like that.
one that we had, it was a slog. I had to kind of drag you through it.
Oh yeah, that one was just me and you, and I was dying. What was that? The Summer Keeleys or something?
Yeah, there was like 3 freaking shows back to back, and you were like, "Nope, I don't think I can do this anymore."
I almost wasn't making it. I was like, Brant, I'm not sure about this, dude. Might have to cut this thing off. Brant made us power through. We did it. And then it's like, man, I'm tired of talking. Games played is just going to be nothing. Yeah, I'll catch you guys next week. This is not going to make it. We did it though. You drugged me through there. That other voice you heard earlier, our resident lore master and soundboard master, Cesar Concepcion II. Cesar, welcome.
Hello.
How are you, sir?
Genki. Pretty good.
Pretty good. I feel good as well. We're entering that part of the year.
Just before now, so.
Oh, you got a nap in?
That helped. I had to, otherwise I would have been grumpy the whole time.
This is an anti-grumpy Cesar episode.
Try my hardest, man. Try my hardest.
I could be grumpy too.
We're doing what we can, man.
Yeah.
I'll do what we can.
Not being paid. This is not a paid service. But thank you for everybody who's joining us via Twitch, YouTube, listening to us on iTunes.
100% go Walter Matthau on your asses.
Grumpy old men style.
Jack Lennon, however you want to do it.
Jack Lennon and Walter Matthau. They're both gone, right? Like both been gone for a minute.
I think only one of them was on Dennis the Menace.
Oh yeah, only one of them's on Dennis the Menace. Mr. Wilson, the aforementioned Mr. Matthau,
and the very, very evil Christopher Lloyd. They just don't lock their doors. Just opened up everybody's door.
Was he in that version of Dennis the Menace?
Yeah, he was the villain. Remember, he was the thief.
I don't remember that. It's been a long time since I saw that.
Yeah. I think the stupidest part was they kept feeding him beans and he farted in the campfire.
I remember the beans.
He couldn't feed himself.
I absolutely remember the beans.
He ended up kidnapping him, remember?
I think that was the big takeaway from that movie.
That was like the biggest thing in that movie was like how everybody was stuck in that time period, right? So he made a comment on here. It's like, yeah, these people live like they're in the 1950s. They don't lock their doors. He was just in there just stealing from everybody because all the doors were unlocked in that neighborhood. So he was like the modern day thief that just happened to go across something that was stuck in time.
I could date some of these properties based off of how I viewed them last. And I know for a fact that was a VHS tape the last time I saw Dennis the Menace. But then sometimes it's like, man, I haven't seen that since it was on TBS Superstation Dinner and a Movie. It was on Dinner and a Movie special. That's the last time I saw that one.
Yeah, like the one that had the theme song, Beans and Coffee. But
there's nothing wrong with beans and coffee.
I'm trying to think. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen it on DVD or Blu-ray, so I think you're correct. I think it would probably be VHS for the first time.
Yeah, you think back.
Going to movie theater for that.
You think back, and it's
probably
like,
a movie theater after that.
Yep.
I think the last movie that was like that from the late 90s, early 2000s, from towards the tail end of my childhood, was probably a Little Giants, and I only watched that again because they had that football play called Annexation of Puerto Rico. That always gets me a laugh. Where they just keep tossing the football around at the very end. Yeah. And it's like, it's Annexation of Puerto Rico.
Yeah. The Glenn Close 101 Dalmatians, the live action one. I haven't seen that since VHS. I know for a fact. James and the Giant Peach.
I haven't seen the one with Emma Stone, which was the prequel ones, which supposedly are pretty good. So.
I haven't seen that either. And that one was good?
But that's what they said. I haven't seen it.
Okay.
But I was laughing because somebody had I watched the clip of that one I sent you, Richard, with Jalen Hurts fumbling the football when that blitz play.
The blitz play.
And it all circles back to my Little Giants and Annexation of Puerto Rico, because somebody in the comments was like, when the Annexation of Puerto Rico is that play? And they're just tossing it crazy, trying to get it to go off.
And you knew the reference.
I knew the reference as Little Giants, yeah. Because I think it was the smart kid was Minkus, the one that played in Boy Meets World. He was the one that came up with the play.
Yep.
Called the Annexation of Puerto Rico.
Little Giants. Yeah, that's easily. I never saw that on TV or anything. That's easily a VHS one.
Had Ed O'Neill, Rick Moranis before he disappeared.
Yeah, but didn't his wife die? Like, he has a reason he kind of retreated from. Yeah, he retreated from the spotlight. Yeah.
Then he tried to make a comeback, and then somebody jumped him in New York and beat the shit out of him. Now it's like, come on, guys.
This is why we can't have nice things.
This is why we can't have nice things. This is why we can't have Rick Moranis.
Because somebody beat up Rick Moranis.
Yeah, literally, he was coming back last year. He was like, yeah, I'm coming back to acting again, and blah, blah, blah. And then that happened. I was like, what? So that man's a national treasure. But at the end of the day, we're still getting Spaceballs too. He's going to be in that one.
Spaceballs 2.
He's back as Darth Helmet, so
Right.
we all win. And John Candy's son is playing Wolf or whatever it is.
The
So
Chewbacca knockoff thing.
yeah,
John Candy's son a
still love
ringer
that
for
bit
John Candy?
looks like him.
He does, really?
My favorite, yeah, my favorite bit from that whole movie was like comb the desert, and they're like sitting there with a comb in the desert.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's a good.
We ain't found shit. They got the giant comb pick.
Yep. Time for another Spaceballs watch.
Oh, Mel Brooks, man.
God bless
He
Mel
makes some
Brooks
good-
films.
The only one he didn't hit was with Dracula Dead and Loving It with
Yeah.
what's his name? That was the only one that did not hit.
I was about to say that was probably the only flop.
What was the name of that one?
Dracula Dead and Loving It. It's got the guy from Police Squad. His name escapes me. I always want to say Liam Neeson, but it's not him. He's the one from Airplane.
Nielsen?
Leslie Nielsen.
Leslie Nielsen.
Leslie Nielsen. Yeah, he played Dracula. That was directed by
I've never
Mel
even
Brooks,
heard
and
of
he wrote
this.
it too.
I mean, that speaks to
That's
what you
the
guys were
reason
saying,
why.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So if you look up Dracula Dead and Loving It, it's a Mel Brooks film that got buried.
Mm.
It's like its only footnote in history where like it bombed in movie theater, bombed in rentals, and it's never really played on TV anymore.
Oh, they didn't make it up on the back half on the home retail end of it. Yeah. I know y'all have seen that. Oh man, my mind just blinked. He was in Saving Private Matt Damon. That thing going around, the interview where he was on Hot Ones talking about movies these days and how we don't get movies made the same way, and they won't make it back on the home video end, and that's a huge piece of the puzzle where they don't get that revenue, and that's it. So things that they used to be able to get made don't get made anymore unless Netflix or somebody signs off of it, and then you don't get that physical copy either way.
Because even those niche movies that, they did okay at the box office, but they're considered a flub. They did, those were like the cult classics that found their second life in the home video release, VHS and
word of mouth
DVDs.
spread. Yeah.
That's, I think about that too, because we popped in, I forget what we were talking about, and I was talking about a DVD versus Blu-ray and how kind of sterile the Blu-ray releases are, because you pop in a Blu-ray and you'll get the FBI warning, and then you might get the company logo, and then it goes straight to the menu.
Yeah.
Where the DVDs, it was a whole experience. They still had previews, but then like when you went to the main menu, it was this whole like big production. It was like sometimes it was like a whole animated thing, and there were so many extras and director commentaries and behind the scenes footages and like all this stuff. And now it's like, you can select your language.
Yeah.
I
think it was
we've lost
you have to,
so much.
You have to fight for that stuff now, because it's like that's the biggest complaint now. You have to like fight for special features. So
I saw Jeff Gersman. It's funny you brought this up, Brant. Jeff Gersman made a comment. He was commenting on somebody's thread on Threads, and it was the Iron Man menu. Like you went through this whole like Iron Man was like loading up the DVD menu, and then like parts of what's the screen? Is that he talks to Jarvis? But what is the inside of that thing?
It's just like the HUD, the inside HUD of the helmet. Yeah.
But you've gone through this whole animation like you're talking about. Like it loads you into the movie, and then you have all these menus to pick from, special features and trailers and chapters and all the other stuff that's in there. And Jeff Gersman's comment was like, we've lost all of this. We lost all this stuff. Where is this getting documented at? We may have the movie, but we don't have these like tidbits of loading screens and all the stuff that was designed for these menus and stuff for the DVD. Do we start collecting DVDs again? Is that where we're at? Is that where we're going to?
The local game store I frequented today, they may have a big section of DVDs and Blu-rays and things like that. So
man, go in any Goodwill. It's DVD city in a Goodwill.
They're cheap.
Yeah,
they're cheap.
Super inexpensive. That's the only thing they haven't decided. Maybe there's not a niche market yet like vinyl and video games and CDs. Maybe it hasn't hit quite yet, but DVDs is coming, right? Do we need to get ahead of the DVD hipster revolution? Those people that grew up with DVDs are about to have disposable income. Yeah, it's coming. They're going to want to relive the same menus. They're going to get it on 4K and they're going to like, this is not what I was expecting. Yep. Or they're going to be cord cutters and they're going to get rid of Netflix and stuff and they're going to want that DVD with the menu they grew up with. This isn't how Stuart Little looks.
Yeah. It's going to be your time to shine because at that point people are like, I want a CRT again. Somebody's going to start making new CRTs.
Oh my God. Cool. If that
CRTs have already, the market for those have already started going up because you just don't find them anymore. They're starting to go back up in value.
Yeah, they're still, but I don't know.
They're cheap still, but
if you look for them on like Marketplace and OfferUp and things like that, you find them at the right price, which is usually free or close to free.
Yeah.
But then you go on eBay or something like that and
get this off my property.
Yeah, I'll pay you to get rid of this one. Essentially that. All right, let's get into.
Was a Verizon commercial where that lady brings in the TV? He's like, I'm here to upgrade my TV to high def.
Yeah, she's like, yeah.
And did you see how easily both of them held that? I was like, that's not a real CRT.
I was like, there's no way. You'd need 5 people to pick that fucking thing up. Like
nobody was straining. Oh yeah, that takes at least 2. That was a big tube.
Thing was huge.
That was a big tube. And they're holding it sideways and shit. And like the glass is the heavy part, like the front part of the tube. I'm like, there's no way this is accurate. Look at us picking apart the Verizon commercial for the CRT. It doesn't happen that way. Because that wasn't like a little consumer monitor, like a 13-inch. That was a big screen back in the day.
Yeah, like the 24-inch or whatever, almost.
What I would say 27 to 32 is what that range was. Yeah. Good luck. Joke's on her. That TV is worth $900. Yeah. She got rid of a $900 TV.
She's lugging it around just like she can't see around it, just like it's just a big box. Like, no, that thing would bring you to your knees.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to move that alone.
Haha, I brought this in. Now my kids can't play PS2 and Dreamcast, and it looked good. Fuck them kids. I want a new phone.
Oh. So much news, though. So little time.
We can get through a couple of these pretty quickly. New for Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch Online Plus. On the Nintendo Switch side, a couple of N64 platformers, says Chris Collion at VGC, VideoGameChronicle.com. They are Rayman 2, The Great Escape, and Tonic Trouble. Both of those
as well as it wasn't in that article, but they kind of dropped a couple days later. Was it like Wario World? Is what it was called for the GameCube?
Yes.
I've got the by Treasure.
I got the wrong article up.
Yeah. Apparently, it's a pretty decent game. Like it kind of.
Hey man, Treasure makes games, man. I was in that chat where everybody's like, "Bring back Mischief Makers, you cowards."
It is, and I think I don't think it was big enough at the time to like make waves. And then this is the era of everybody hating the GameCube. Nobody wanted GameCube anything at this time. The Zelda game was too kiddie looking. Smash Brothers was pretty much it, right? People cared about Smash Brothers and Mario Kart essentially.
Yeah.
But also, Zelda,
what was that, Cesar?
Said I'm super excited about that Zelda. I hope you know.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Everybody was.
Mm-hmm. I pre-ordered it.
For your vanilla NSO subscription, you did get some new games as well. You got Ninja Gaiden 2, The Dark Sword of Chaos, and Battletoads, both for the original NES, as well as a couple Game Boy titles. You got Kid Icarus of Myths and Monsters, and
really
Bionic Commando.
Yeah, these are all four of these are good games.
All the games we just named are pretty solid ads.
Yeah, everything on the service. Battletoads might be beatable with the whole like rewind feature.
Rewind and custom save points.
It was never beatable on the Xbox when we had that, so.
Yeah. So sorry, you want to give it a shot again? I'm always down to. I always entertain you giving it a go. I know I'm not capable of it, but we're of course talking about the.
Religiously played that game as in my childhood, so.
And you can get to it flawlessly. You can get to that speeder bike part with no issue, and then everything goes to shit.
I played that game so much that it's like 9 day. I can get there without thinking about it. I can have a conversation with you as I'm performing surgery on somebody's heart and still play at the same time to get there. I don't need to concentrate to get there.
It's just a damn speeder bike.
Those speeder bikes are like faster than the damn light cycles from Tron or some shit. Like
now, that part of the surgery, I would have to play. All right, hold on. We got to stop the heart surgery. I got to get past the speeder bike part because I got to concentrate here. So,
keep pumping the heart.
So yeah, somebody keep pumping it. Keep that AED warm.
Fresh pads on the AED. I don't think I've played all of these. I don't think I've played that Game Boy Bionic Commando. I think that might be the missing. That Game Boy Kid Icarus is really good, actually.
Game Boy Kid Icarus, I played a shit ton of.
Yep.
I played that more than I played the NES one, actually. So
same. It was, to me, it was more playable, like more approachable. All right, I'm looking at this clip real quick on the Nintendo YouTube channel. Looks like Bionic Commando. This looks like a pretty solid Game Boy game, to be honest. It's got the swinging mechanic and everything. Soundtrack sounds good. Yeah, that might be a winner. PlayStation Plus. What are we getting for PlayStation Plus? This is the game catalog for December. So this is your premium and extra tiers?
Correct.
All right.
Got some good games in here.
There are some great games. Great games in here. PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium included with the Ubisoft Plus Classics. You're going to get Assassin's Creed Mirage for PS5 and PS4. Also for PS5 and PS4, Wolong Fallen Dynasty. So sorry, you're a big fan of the Mirages? Oh, both of these. Excellent.
Yes.
For PlayStation 5, Day 1 release. Day 1 exclusive release. Skate Story.
Yeah.
PS5 and
PS. Good, man.
Skate Story is pretty good.
It's good. It's really damn good.
I've heard it's very unique. It's
like that Dreamcast early days of experimentation gameplay wise. So.
Kind of like Hi-Fi Rush was unique. That sort of fresh take.
No, it feels like the beginning when we first had those indies that came out there. We're like, oh, we don't have innovation from the big three companies anymore because they don't want to chance wasting money. It's like that type of stuff. It's very different.
Okay.
Going blind.
Going blind for Skate Story.
But I think it was developed mostly by one guy, so.
Okay. That's not in the little snippet they put in the PlayStation blog. They should add more stuff like that, more developer tidbits.
Yeah, I think he had his first game came out on PC and Switch. I forgot what it was called. And this one I think this one's on Switch 2, PS5, and Steam.
And that is Skate Story. Oh, there it is, by Sam Eng, E-N-G. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink for PS5 and PS4.
Good RPG if you are looking for an RPG.
Next, you have Planet Coaster 2 for PS5. Go ahead, Cesar.
Just know that you have to have some required knowledge to play that game because you start out like in the middle of like the story that's based off anime, which I think I've argued this before when I played this game. Is like the second season is available on Crunchyroll, and then the first season is only available on $900 Blu-rays. So
holy shit!
And Crunchyroll is anime being free.
That's why I start buying Blu-rays, guys. It's super expensive to try to find stuff illegally on anime-wise if it's not out there officially.
$900 Blu-rays. That says 4-player co-op I see at the end of there on Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. We could potentially try this out. Planet Coaster 2 for PS5. Cat Quest 3 for PS5 and PS4. Lego Horizon Adventures for PS5. I've never played a Cat Quest. You guys like the Cat Quest games? There's 3 of them now. I think I have them.
Very much like that video I sent to you and your youngest one with the pirate cats. Yar.
I think I have them on Steam, like through various bundles and stuff. The Quest of the Cats.
What's like P Cube or something like that does this? They're like
mm,
action RPGs. I mean, they're okay. I don't know if I'm paying $60 for it, but I mean, if it's
Yeah.
there for me to play.
in the catalog.
Mm.
Lego Horizon Adventures. That's been out, what, about a year now? That's the PS5
Yeah.
That's right.
version on there. Paw Patrol Grand Prix. No track is too
Oh, yeah,
big, no
man,
racer too small. Race around Adventure Bay with all your favorite Paw Patrol pups and up to 4 players at once.
Oh, you know I'm psyched.
24 racing games in 24 hours. This is one of our candidates, Paw Patrol Grand Prix.
I was getting excited because you said 24 the TV show and a racing game. I was like, oh, they made a 24 racing game.
Do we play a racing game based off of 24? 24, the show,
Jack
the
Bauer?
game, the racing game.
Jack Bauer every time. Yeah, Jack Bauer.
Jack Bauer Racing.
How many fucking bad days can he have, man? That fucker had like 7 seasons of bad 24 hours. I was like,
He did.
The whole time, like while you're racing, it has the big counter at the top that just constantly is going doot 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 in your ear.
Damn, I will play this now. This is way more exciting than any other game we're going to talk about on this list.
Random explosions in the background. Yeah, this was. We've got to go with this concept.
Hey, man,
I think
24 the game on PS2 was a great game.
I was about to say, didn't it have a release already on like PS2 or Xbox? It was PS2, wasn't it?
It was a Sony Computer Entertainment Europe game, and Sony refused to bring it over here, so they sub-licensed it to 2K, but it's actually made by Cambridge or London Studio. I can't remember which one it was.
It's an actual first-party title in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. 24 the game.
I think I have a copy. I think I have a copy handy, but we can keep going.
What knowledge of the show?
No.
What knowledge of the show does someone need to have in order to watch? In order to play 24 the game? There it is.
Fresh copy 24. LA's under attack. Thousands of lives hanging in the balance for Agent Jack Bauer. It's going to be another one of those days.
Another bad day.
Yeah, Studio Cambridge. Yep.
Do you know where it falls in the seasons? Like, do you have to watch a couple seasons before you play the game?
I have no idea. I just saw, hey, this is a Sony first party game, and it was like $5. I was like, fuck it, I'll buy it.
Oh, this game already has driving. It's got.
It already has driving. Somebody beat us to it.
Shooting, stealth, driving.
I mean, it's the getaway people, right? Of course, it's gonna have driving.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's got the cast, the show's cast apparently reprising their roles in the game. So.
Yeah, for somebody strong-armed David Hightower away from his role on Metal Gear.
Oh my god, that's a hell of a reversal. Kiefer Sutherland replaced by David Hyder on 24.
I see a long play of this game, and somebody completed it with just under 6 hours, so it doesn't seem like it's a super long game.
It's not 24.
We should be streaming this.
Not 24 hours.
There.
So that's our play the game. So that's why I have a copy too. I just looked at my shelf. I've got it right before Ace Combat 4. 24 the game.
Now we're all unhappy.
Now we're all
unhappy. Oh,
Brant, where's your copy?
This game, at least IGN gave it a 4.2 out of 10.
Ooh.
IMDb has it as a 7.6 out of 10.
I remember hearing way better games about that.
I think it's gotten better with age. It's like one of those cult classics. It was booty hole when it first came out. Like it got shitted on.
Renee is in the chat with us. Hello, Renee. He said everybody in the comments for the Game Awards was screaming Half-Life 3. I was not at home screaming Half-Life 3.
Yeah. I was not watching live. I was asleep.
I caught the end, like mid to end of it, I think.
I watched like the middle of it, and I was like, this is gonna take a while. I do not have the time.
Because Jeff didn't look good. I text you guys that. Jeff looked kind of rough.
I mean,
he looked a little rough.
He looked like freaking Ryan Seacrest, man. The dude's got 85 jobs. He's tired.
Yeah.
Every time I see Ryan Seacrest, I just see a dude that's tired.
Give the man a break.
He's had a rough year. He said he lost his dad this year, and I think it might have taken a toll on him. So I'm not gonna say looks bad, it sounds like out of concern. Like if we were all on the show and I was like, man, Brand doesn't look too good. It's out of
I
concern.
hope he's
Like,
healthy. Yeah, I
yes,
hope he's
yeah,
healthy.
yeah. I'm not
I hope
slandering.
it's nothing like serious. I mean,
Uh,
we know what you're getting at.
right, right. You don't know who just joined the show, who's going to hear us on iTunes, or like, I'm a Jeff Keighley defender. I'm going to burn this podcast to the ground because they were slandering
I
Jeff.
hope they,
Geoff.
I hope
Go
they
F.
do, because like I tell you guys, I just go right back to bed. Tempt me.
You can have it.
Take down the podcast. I'm like, okay, going to sleep.
Frame it. I'm framing the Geoff slander up here on the wall. Last but not least, Soul Calibur 3. You'll be able to play that on PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. This was the PS2 exclusive.
Yeah, our Soul Premium ad that
Soul
PlayStation has
Premium.
Brand's not happy that they've gone down to one game a month.
they've gone down to one game, man. Like they were giving us like
Fuck is it?
consistently 3, 4, 5 games, depending. Now we're getting like one PS2 game a month.
I'm with Brand. I'm concerned. We have many more classics to come out. Why are we slowing down the releases?
So many classics. Y'all have a huge catalog.
Yeah.
Where's the Ratchet and Clank games, man? Where's
So
what's crazy is what's crazy is that I haven't bought Cloudberry Kingdom yet, but I'm going to. And you saw that Cloudberry Kingdom has the first like active working PS3 emulator on there that works on the PS5 because it's emulating the PS3 version of the game.
Really?
So when you buy that game, yes, I just read an article about it because the developers were talking about it. So when you buy that game, it's like a native PS5 port, a PS4 port, and it also includes an emulated version of the PS3 one on there. And it says it's not perfect. There's some like little glitches graphically, and I haven't played it yet to figure out what they're talking about.
Yeah.
But it's a very comparable PS3 emulator, and that developer's like, yeah, man, we're ready to put, God of War, Ratchet Clank, whatever you want in there, man. We made the very first workable PS3 emulator that works on PS5. So
because we know it can run on that PS5 Silicon. And damn, you touched on something.
If you want to see what a PS3 emulator looks like, it is $14.99 on PS5 right now.
So what you were saying kind of reminds me. Remember when they added? It was right after launch, maybe like a day or two. Maybe it was day of. I can't remember. But when the 360 came out, you had a certain number of PS. You had a certain number of original Xbox games that you could play backwards compatible, right? But then you would get some weird. There's notes at the end of the, plays fine. Water textures on Hoth on Battlefront are off. And I remember that specifically. Like when you would go over where there was a waterfall in the background, it was just in the background. It wasn't even somewhere you could play. But you would see like these weird textures, and it just like, okay, that's kind of a funny glitch thing, and you would just move on. So I wonder if it's going to end up being some funny things like that with the whole cell processor compatibility and stuff. I would take that. That's fine. Let me know there's some weird textures, but the most of the game is there. Especially if I could pop in my own discs.
I mean,
looking at. I don't think we'll get to that. I don't think we'll get to that point.
Because I mean, it's pretty impressive. Because we were just talking about last week from was it what's the name of that company we were talking about? Implicit Conversions.
Yeah,
we were talking about like their dream thing was to make a PS3 emulator that they're working on, and this company out of nowhere just made one that works pretty competently from what I've been reading about. And I want to say, I didn't watch the video, but I want to say Digital Foundry did a video on them as well. I think I've linked the article to it or something like that where they were talking about how impressive that was.
I need to watch
that. And then Implicit Conversions just came out with another PS1 classic that we never got that just got released early this week, Milano's Odd Job Collection, and they put that on Switch 2, Switch, PS5, pretty much everything Steam. And this was an old PS1 game that we never got over here that looks fucking crazy. It's like looks like it has SNES graphics, and but it's like a lot of voice acting, Japanese voice acting. Is like one of those ones that was in the transition period from like the SNES to the PS1 days. So
like a Super Nintendo game, like a CD-ROM
it's not very
Super
long.
Nintendo title.
And if I'm not mistaken, the game's only like $15, but it has a lot of charm in there.
Okay.
So
that's a good recommend. Damn, I had something else I was going to mention on that note. I keep losing my train of thought. It's that time of night.
No, I keep overstepping you.
No. These emulation progress things are awesome updates. I love this kind of stuff. I'm going to get to that point where we have a lot more compatibility for our devices.
It was funny, Richard. You would enjoy it because I was on PSN profiles and they were like, "What the hell's happening?" Because they said the Cloudberry Kingdom came out of nowhere. Like somebody had posted new trophies on there.
So I've heard of that game
"You
before, but I can't recall anything about it. Like I can't even picture like box art or anything.
It's like a weird gruffy guy with a cape, and he has like a beard. And it was published by Ubisoft in the beginning and they had lost the rights, and they delisted this game.
Okay.
And it's kind of like a what they call a grown-up version of Mario. It was like Dark Souls meets Mario 2D platforming. It's supposed to be super difficult, along the lines of like Super Meat Boy, but not where you're doing that bounce off the wall bullshit and doing different angles. It was mostly just platforming for like adults. Is what it was advertised back in 2013 as. It was like a late PS3 360 game. And then it got delisted, and I think it for whatever reason, the trophies never synced on the server properly. And it was funny because like all of a sudden one day this week, like Monday, they're like, "Oh, the trophies just started showing up on there again." They're like, "What the hell?" It's like someone was like, "This was not in my bingo card that this game that the trophies didn't work in start magically working 10 years later." So it was like,
yeah.
And then the game just randomly came out. So it was like out of nowhere because nobody knew what was going on.
It's delisted from Steam. Yeah. Super Meat Boy or like, yeah, this is crazy looking. It's very unique. Did it get a physical release on PS3 or was a digital download?
I think it was one of the digital age ones. Yeah.
Okay. It looks crazy. I pulled it up on Steam immediately and I can add it to my wish list, but it's like this game's not available on Steam. So
I think it's coming back. So
interesting.
I think whoever the new rights holder is no longer Ubisoft. I guess Ubisoft might have been one of the ones they sold off. Because remember, they sold Cold Fear, and then they pulled Cold Fear off the stores. Then they finally put it back on.
Coming back out, yeah. Here's your Digital Foundry article from OG Richard Ledbetter, where he's talking about Cloudberry Kingdom. Procedurally generated platform game that released for PS3, Xbox 360, PC, and Wii U. There's the mind-blowing part. And it is a PS5 native app. That's wild. Yeah, I'm going to have to look at this Digital Foundry thing in depth. They know what to look for, right? Like they'll tear that thing apart and see what's different about it and what's enhanced.
You knew they were going to, especially when I was running a PS3 emulator in there. So.
Yeah, did Brant know about that video with what's the studio?
A little bit.
Yeah, I know you and I were texting about it back and forth because I watched that whole YouTube thing. And it's like, sure. Don't come to us with one PS1 game that we can sell for $6. We're never going to make enough money off of it. But if you find a way to package like 100 of these together and then we could sell that for a SKU, then you can come to us.
My favorite was with all the upgrades, rewind and everything. They're like,
oh yeah, everything.
Because they were talking about how painstakingly bad it is to convert all that on each game individually. And the guy's like, "Yeah, come to us when you can do 100."
As one package.
My guess was EA on that one. So,
what 100 EA games could they even guess to package up like that? Though it's crazy.
I mean, it could have been Activision. Activision came out with something similar, right? So
yeah.
Who knows?
Let's wrap up this piece of news before we go into the Game Awards. This is your Xbox Game Pass titles.
Megan Spur update.
Oh, thanks, Megan Spur. It's been a while, right, since we got a Megan Spur update? We're live to Megan Spur at the Xbox Wire. Available today. This is as of December 2nd.
December 2nd. I think most of these are going to be on here. Yeah.
Lost Records, Bloom and Rage. I won't even read coming soon because it's definitely out. Monster Train 2, Spray Paint Simulator, 33 Immortals. I feel like we've talked about that one before. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I guess that's coming to all the Game Pass tiers at this point. So it took what, about a year for that to come to the regular Game Pass?
Yeah, it's been about a year.
Routine. A game about digging a hole. Okay, it's coming to Ultimate
Sounds
Premium
interesting.
and PC Game Pass. Or you could just go outside and dig a hole.
Yeah.
Death Howl, Dome Keeper, Mortal Kombat 1. That's not the first Mortal Kombat. That is the game titled Mortal Kombat 1. Is that the most recent one? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, they stopped development on it, but yes.
As in no more like seasonal stuff?
I think it did not hit the numbers that they wanted to hit. And so they kind of like ended it earlier than they planned. And there was some controversy about not being on Evo and stuff like that.
That's what I was going to
so
ask. Cesar, are you going to be able to unpack all the WB stuff, or do we need to kind of wait for that story to develop some more?
Yeah, it's still in limbo.
Pending.
So it's nothing, I mean, real quick, it's nothing really that different than what's going on with Disney and Fox. I mean, that almost became a hostile takeover too, because Universal went in there last minute and threw in like a Hail Mary bid.
So this is Netflix attempting to purchase who exactly? I'm trying to remember the news.
Warner Brothers.
Overall.
Just Warner Brothers.
Yep.
So you have a company, Warner Brothers and Discovery, WBD. And then this all started when Warner Brothers sold their whole business, everything Warner Brothers related, basically to AT&T. AT&T acquired a lot of debt and never got out of the hole because they were trying to get in this whole thing like, well, we're a service provider. We want to add some way to distribute media to people to make money off of revenue, and it never panned out well. So they ended up selling the company for less than what they purchased for to Discovery, which is we all know as Food Network, TLC, that type of stuff on there. And David Zass was the mastermind of that one. And so essentially they integrated those two companies into one giant company. And at some point, they were getting ready to sell again because it wasn't turning out the profit that they had wanted. So before the sale went through, Warner Brothers Discovery was going to split their company into two parts. They're going to have the movie and the streaming side over here on one side, and then they were going to move all the TV networks and all that stuff on the other side, which would have stayed with Discovery. And so the reason why I took this long about way of doing it is because Netflix came in, and there's multiple companies who wanted to purchase this before the split and after the split. So originally you had a deal that came through that Warner Brothers decided after they split Discovery off, that they would sell Warner Brothers, the studios, and the movie, the movie theaters, the TV shows, and all that, and the HBO Max streaming service to Netflix. Netflix does not want the Discovery part, so they were going to still do the split off, and they were going to sell that movie industry based off one to Netflix. And before there was a lot of interest for it because Paramount wanted to purchase it, which is now owned by I keep wanting to say Skybound, but it's not Skybound. But it has a new owner, and then you had Universal that want to purchase it for the various reasons because they have theme parks that has Harry Potter, so they're like, yeah, we definitely want to get the Harry Potter property on there because it makes more sense. And Netflix was always funny because Netflix is like, nah, we don't want to. We like creating IPs. We don't want to purchase any. That's what they were pitching as. I mean, I already knew that they were full of shit because they're the ones that end up coming in there and putting the biggest bid for it. And so essentially, it's not many. It's a lot of consolidation in that market. So like Disney would have been out. They've already kind of like played all their hands on purchasing stuff, so it wouldn't have been them to begin with. So outside of that, Netflix and Warner Brothers came to an agreement that within the next 12 to 18 months that Netflix was going to buy that part of Warner Brothers, which they were going to integrate in Netflix. They didn't say how that would change the streaming services, if that HBO Max would go away or the prices would increase. They haven't gotten that far yet, other than the fact that they were going to honor some of the movie releases. But we don't know the window because most windows are like 45 days, 90 days. The Netflix windows is usually about 2 weeks, and then it comes in streaming. And what's crazy is that a lot of movie theater industries were against this deal with Netflix because this year alone, I think Warner Brothers owned this year in the movie theaters. Like they literally had 10 films that had opened up 40 million plus every weekend. Like they killed it. Like they were the only movie studio that Sinners came out was number one. Weapons came out and was number one. The Conjuring, the final one came out and was number one. Final Destination came out and was number one. Like it killed every release they had on there.
A lot of horror
and they're
stuff.
Like, now you're gonna, yeah. Well, I mean, there's more than that. I just kind of like those are the ones that pop in my head.
Yeah.
But Superman as well. So it's like
they're
like the movie theaters were concerned. It's like, damn, you're gonna get sold to a streaming service client or entity
It's
that says,
counter
yeah,
interest for
we'll honor
them.
the yeah, we'll honor the system, and we saw how well that goes with Microsoft and and Activision. Then they started firing a whole bunch of people. That's what they all say. And so
Right.
they're gonna say what they're gonna say to do the thing on it. But it's like at the end of the day, they own the company, they do what the fuck they want. So, um, so essentially, Paramount, which was Ellison, which is he's the son of I forgot Larry Ellison or something like that. He's the guy who created Oracle. So he's the one who went
Ooh,
and
big money.
his family's crazy. So like his daughter owns A24, which is like the biggest indie film distributor right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then his son is the one who just purchased Paramount from Sherry Redstone. And so he made a hostile takeover where he outbid Netflix. As Netflix, I think, wanted 80 billion just for the Warner Brothers part. And then he came out with some investors, which some of them were Saudi based, and Jared Kushner's company as well, I think, has a small stake in it, and offered 108 billion, but he wants the whole thing. He's like, I want everything. It's like, you don't even have to split, give me everything. And so at that point, I think they didn't want to go with him because at the end of the day, you want to make money, right? But I think they did not want to go with him because they felt like they had a better shot at getting government approval for Netflix because you don't have a lot of linear sales that's going on like Warner, the Paramount one, where you have to worry about them acquiring TV stations. You got to worry about another news network acquiring another news network. It's like stuff like that where you would come up in court like, yeah,
Yeah.
you have CBS News buying CNN News, well, how's that gonna be fair and
When you
everything?
start getting into
And
the
so,
antitrust monopoly stuff.
yeah, so that's why when Disney bought Fox, they had to sell off the TV show aspects, and I think that's why Fox still exists because they ended up keeping the TV stations because they couldn't keep them because of the ABC stations. So it was like, as well as the sports, they wouldn't let them take all the sports because at that point they would have had a monopoly in the sports market because it would have been ABC, it would have been ESPN and Fox sports.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of that stuff on there because there's this consolidation of the networks, of the industries happening. So it's getting a lot harder for stuff to sell and integrate. So I argued that, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of any of them, but at this point, Warner Bros. Is not going to survive. Otherwise, it's going like the wave MGM, where it's just going to
Oof.
flounder and go other ways, sideways. So it's funny now because like they went out there and they're doing what's called a hostile takeover. So they never got an official approval from the board from Warner Brothers to sell to Paramount. So Paramount threw a Hail Mary, and this is why you don't have companies that are publicly traded because they're going to their stockholders like, hey, the Netflix deal is great. This is what we should do. You're gonna have to vote for it because you're gonna have to sell your stocks. And then either way, you're gonna either get cash for your stocks that you sell for the sell of the company, or you're gonna get new stocks in Netflix. It's however they decide that deal is. And I think the Netflix deal is a combination of stocks and cash. Paramount is all cash. They're giving them all money. You don't have to worry about stocks. You don't have to worry about performance. We're just gonna give you money straight out for the stocks you own.
Easier. Yeah.
So at the end of the day, now they call this a hostile takeover because they bypassed the Warner Brothers board, which never approved it, and gone straight to the stockholders. And it's like, hey, we're about to give you more money. I don't know why these guys didn't pitch this to you. Take our deal. So now at this point, now the board is, I mean, now the stockholders are going to have to vote, or Netflix is going to have to counter offer if they feel like that they can't win that deal. So that means they're going to have to increase their bid on there. So it just that's where it's at right now. So we're not going to know anything that happens until they have the stockholder meeting.
It's a mess.
About what the stockholders want to do. And this is the same thing that happened with Fox. This is how Universal or Comcast acquired Sky Sports, because originally Sky Sports was going to go to Disney, and they threw out that Hail Mary, say, hey, we're offering more than Disney, and because Comcast wanted Sky Sports in the UK. And so I think Disney ended up letting Sky Sports go because I think the whole part of the deal was Sky Sports was not completely owned by Fox. Like Sky, I think it was like 60%. And part of the deal when Disney acquired Fox was that Fox would buy out the rest and then sell that over to Disney. It was a lot of hoops and hurdles on there, but they ended up going in. I think Disney, instead of losing Fox altogether, they're like, you know what, just take Sky Sports. We're not even going to fight for it.
Yeah.
And so that's how you had Comcast ended up getting them over there. But
Sky
to
Sports
make a long
is
story
big
short, how does
deal.
that have to do with anything in the gaming industry? Is because there are some gaming studios over in Warner Brothers.
Big
And so
franchises.
you would think that as well. I mean, at this point, my argument, and I think I told Richard out here, I think I would prefer, I think at this point, most of them, I think Paramount would end up going the route of what Disney does, where they just sub-license their stuff. Like you might see re-releases of older stuff, and they'll sub-license stuff out there because I don't think they're in the market for doing gaming it, creating games. Netflix kind of is because you see they're trying to do their weird gaming Netflix service that's through phones.
Yeah.
So, but
But they've
we've already
also
seen
shut
some
down a lot of their studios within the past few
or sold them
years.
off, and
Mhm.
made them
Yeah.
independent again. So it's like it's and it's funny because now you have Netflix coming back and like eating crow now, which is funny because they came back and they're like, no, 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 like our deal's better. We're gonna honor the movie rollout. We're gonna go 45 days, 90 days, like stuff they were like kind of like, we're not talking about that right now. We're worried about like now that Paramount's in there, it's like, yeah, we're still gonna honor because we believe in movie theaters out of nowhere, and then it's like, oh no, we like because before there was that rumors going around like, yeah, they didn't even care about the gaming studios. Like, no, no, we care about the gaming studios. Yeah, it's like now like they're eating crow on a lot of shit because they were like, like Paramount's calling them out, like, yeah, we do this, we do that, we'll do that. Like these guys don't care about movie theaters. Like they rather see you guys shut down.
Yeah.
So
Easy to scramble
it's
now and try to cover up, and you weren't talking about it
yeah.
before, like you were saying.
Yeah, it's like you just kind of like if you don't talk about it and you get rid of it, and it's like, well, I never said I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
So it's like, but it's it should shape the industry within the next year or so. I mean like
These
back
things take a
catalog for Warner
while.
Brothers games, it's got to go through regulatory. FTC's got to go in there and look at it, and it's like, okay, we'll approve this deal if it does this. You still have to go and get the deal approved in other countries around the world, like it has to get approved by the EU. Doesn't mean it will, because I'm sure they're going to have some concerns about losing a major streaming service like Netflix is already $24.99 a month for their higher tier ones. Is that going to raise the price for their
Right.
commercial based ones? So you're taking a lot of competition out of the market. So because like I said, that was the difference between when people were saying shit about Crunchyroll and anime, but I was like, the problem I didn't see it was a big deal for Crunchyroll because Sony doesn't own all that shit. So if you want to beat it, I'll bid them on it. So that's the end of the day.
So
So
time
like I
will
said, they
tell on this
don't.
stuff, essentially. We still have to wait and
The
see how it
problem
shakes
is,
out.
yeah, the problem is Netflix is buying stuff that they own, so they can sit there
Yeah.
and pull all that stuff off of people's back catalogs, like Hulu, like all the Teen Titans is like WB, so they're like, oh, we'll take it off Hulu, put it on Netflix. You got to watch it on Netflix. So it's like you start
Ah,
seeing that stuff on there because like, hey, we own Teen Titans. Why we're gonna have it on Hulu?
yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. So like, you didn't get that stuff with the anime based one because really you're just buying people with a checkbook, and I mean you just outbid them. So I mean, I know Netflix is hungry on getting that Warner Brothers one too because they will end up owning all the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure animes because Warner Brothers Japan is the one who does the production animation on that one. So
Hmm.
since they're trying to get big on anime, they will basically start writing themselves their own checks because right now they've been paying them Warner Brothers Japan to do exclusive streams for JoJo over here.
Yeah.
So it's like why do that if we can just own Warner Brothers Japan and just cut ourselves a check? So and just own that anime all right. So, like I said, there's a lot of things that make sense for Netflix to do it. So, but yeah, that's my little Cliff Notes version of it. And as
Tangled
you
web
said, I
we
mean,
weave.
as we go through regulations and regulatory and all
Yeah.
that stuff on there, and as other nations approve the deal, we'll see what happens because they may come back and like, yeah, you could do this, but you got to get rid of this, or you can't acquire this, or you have to like kind of like how the phone provider for Boost came out. It's owned by Dish Network because when T-Mobile bought Sprint, that was part of the deal. It's like, hey, you can't own Boost and Metro,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't close Boost. And so the part of the deal was that T-Mobile had to sell Boost to a new cell phone provider to help with the competitors in the market. And that's when Dish came out. It's like, yeah, we'll do cell phone service, so we'll buy it, but T-Mobile has to provide their network for the next 4 or 5 years until we can build our own. And so that's how you have those deals come through like that. So.
I knew we needed the
But
the
that's
good synopsis. I texted you about it. I was like, I need the Cesar version of this. I need the Reader's Digest to catch up. And you were like, I'm not typing this out. It's got to be on the show.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it's consolidation is right now as we've seen in the gaming market with AAA games and the cost of everything. It's the same thing with movies and whatnot. So you have a lot of consolidation on there. I think the biggest thing now is there's a lot of scrutiny with a lot of these companies who own like CNN or MSNBC that does political base commentary on news because now it's harder for regulatories to get approved when you do lateral acquisitions. So now you have like a, Comcast was always getting ready to try to go for Warner Brothers because the Warner Brothers owns CNN, right? And they went ahead and they went through and they basically separated MSNBC from NBC, created it and called it MS Now. And they're
Yeah, it
like,
has like a
hey,
different
we
logo
created
and
a
everything, right? I saw the
they
new
created
logo.
they created a separate company that owns them, USA, and their other cable networks. And they're like, yeah, technically we own this separate company, but our hands are not in the cookie jar. It's like we only own the company that has the hands on the cookie jar. So if we were to acquire CNN, it's not a conflict of interest because it's like we're like one hand away that owns it, and we don't even fully own it. We only own 80% of it. It's that they were getting ready to do. That's what they were getting that all out the way to make a bid for Warner Brothers. But the problem is they got outbid from Warner Brothers because the Comcast guys like, yeah, we wanted them, but we're not dropping that kind of cash for them. So,
It's like
because Comcast is hurting right now. So
it's an arm's length away, like Nintendo only allowing licensees to make 5 games per year, but then Konami spun up Ultra Games. And so you'd have games on that Ultra Games logo. Like, I think the Turtles games were Ultra Games, technically.
Mm.
So
it's like you're getting to that part. So it's going to get interesting because I think there's some whispers in the background, nothing confirmed, that Paramount was one of the whole shebang that because they were going to quote unquote clean up CNN and make them non-biased and stuff like that. They were trying to throw out stuff that would help them get the deal. So there's a lot of people throwing out. You're going to see a lot of political base. Well, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to make this fair.
Regarding the news outlets.
Just in general, just see how they can. You'll see these companies like, yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to protect the industry from movie theater. I mean, because the problem is you're integrating companies who own movie theaters and studios, right? It makes more sense for Netflix to purchase Warner Brothers because I don't think they have as many studios that make internal films. They tend to make new IPs. They don't have anything internally. So it makes more sense for Netflix to acquire them because they would keep these studios open. They would keep these lines of employment open. It would not make sense for Paramount because they already own a whole bunch because they're Paramount. And so it's also crazy that Paramount came out like, well, we're going to keep releasing movies in the movie theaters. So it's like between Warner Brothers and Paramount, they've released anywhere from 30 to 50 films a year. So you're telling me you're going to release 5 films a month and, compete against yourself throughout the year in the movie theaters? That's also crazy. And that doesn't look great from like a stockholder point thing. So like I said, there's going to be,
Monopoly.
that's the problem when you don't have as many competition. Yeah. It's like you're going to compete against yourself. So it's like, it's kind of crazy. And then somehow make money and somehow not fire people because you're like, well, this number, this movie theater, this movie didn't make 100 million. Yeah, because you had like 5 other films that come out the same month. Competing against yourself, like, so we got to fire all these people. So you're going to see a lot of that weirdness going on. So
in the gaming industry, we've seen that stifle releases and stifle creativity and stifle individual thoughts and concepts, right? That consolidation.
Yeah.
Screwing studios like Raven Software and I mean, how many in that Activision stable do you see that made good games and now they're just a support studio, Call of Duty support studio,
Vicarious Visions.
I mean,
I said
Raven. Games have gotten so big. We finally had. I mean, we didn't talk about it this week, and it would have been next week, but we finally had a fucking game that competed against Call of Duty that actually cost themselves, right? To the point where, like, all right. We know we were phoning in the Call of Duty stuff. We're sorry. We're gonna do better. It finally forced some kind of change, right?
It did.
It finally something positive happened where, like, we're not gonna keep making Black Ops and Modern Warfare. We're gonna do it differently. Like, we know we should have been doing that, but y'all a bunch of idiots.
You fuckers kept buying it year after year.
Like, it's printing money, I was like, we'll just keep Black Ops 9. I'm like, what is this even? This is anymore? So I'm like,
and it's Battlefield you're alluding to, right? That pushed them.
Yeah.
That rocked the boat.
No, but Call of Duty's too big to fail, guys. Don't you know that?
It's time, man. They've
too big to fail.
Microsoft said that themselves. So long.
I bring that up to all of us because I want to allude to what Richard said. Is like you pull all these talented people to be support studios for this garbage, for the same slop every year, and this is what you get, right?
It's the exact same game. We talk about. A lot of people bring up the fact that, 2K or FIFA or Madden, they're just roster updates. At this point, the Call of Duty.
There's a good roster update that Richard found on eBay that I want to play, but
I did find a good roster update.
The Call of Duties at this point are roster updates as far as like maps and guns. Like that's about it. Like other than that, they're pushing the. It's really about the same game.
I mean,
They're kind of
you mentioned new
phoning it in on
maps.
the. Whether they phone it in on the story mode, because a lot of people say that the campaigns are short and not really much to write home about.
Unoriginal.
Yeah.
You talk about it's a roster update with new maps, but how many times have they pushed Nuketown out? And they're like, "Hey, remember Nuketown?"
They're recreations of old maps half the time. Yeah. So,
what's the Modern Warfare? It's the first Modern Warfare. It's like a shipping vessel. Like it's got all those shipping things on it.
Shipment.
It's called Shipment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how many times does that come out? With the same layout, it's exact same layout.
Like with all the all the shipping containers.
Yeah. As you're on like a barge, you're on the back of a barge or something.
There's also that like one map. It's like a smaller map called like Rust. I think was the name of the map.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean, boy. It's time, guys. It's time. I mean,
they got to be toppled because it drives innovation. When you have no challenger, when you have nobody trying to come for you.
I mean, it's time.
You just rake in that money every year.
We'll get to the Claire Obscura stuff, but I mean, look at that. I mean, that was a small studio that produced a huge hit. So I mean, it's time for
to
think smaller.
Hopefully, we keep that momentum, right?
Oh, I mean, sales wise, and we're not getting that bullshit. We're like, oh, Critical Darling, Obscure, like didn't sell well. It didn't sell. This was why people want, these high budget games that takes 85 support studios so we can make it in a year, or games that take 6 years to make. So.
And how many people played that through Game Pass? So, what part of that argument does it end up like flipping back on itself? I
think they said when they came out, they said there was a good bit of people played the Game Pass. It was like one of their biggest hits of the year, if I remember reading it correctly. So
that's a big success there. The rest of the Game Pass updates. Speaking of Game Pass, we almost finished Megan's bit here. It's a lot of updates to titles you know and love, like Sea of Thieves, Total Chaos, Marvel Cosmic Invasion is coming day one with Game Pass as of December 1st.
I don't know if y'all played it yet, but the game is really, really fun. I put a good couple of hours into it.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Last but not least, leaving soon, December 15th. Mortal Kombat 11, Still Wakes the Deep, and Wild Frost. And then December 31st, Carrion and Hell Let Loose will be leaving Xbox Game Pass. I will have to let friend of the show, Russell, know that Hell Let Loose is leaving. I believe he may have bought that on PlayStation, though. He might be good.
I think so.
Yeah. I think he let Game Pass go. He might be free of the whims of the Microsoft's games as a service platform.
Hey, man, that's the only way you can teach somebody is you gotta let those services go. Let my services go.
The services part. All right, the last bit of news before, I don't know how much time we're going to have for games played. We might have to do a games played, games acquired, catch up another week. We'll see where it goes. This is the big chunk of news. But we ended up with some good discussion, so that's what this show, every week's NOFODcast, is all about. Who's got this summary? This is Windows Central. Brendan Lowry at Windows Central has everything announced for us at this year's Jeff Keighley December Fest, also known as the Game Awards. Here's a complete overview of everything from the Game Awards.
If you want to take a break, I can run through real quick. It's up to you.
Yeah, throw some stuff out there. You just had the big movie. You just had the big property spiel.
Yeah, but y'all been talking for the last couple weeks, so let's see. I didn't watch the whole show.
I didn't see a couple of these at the beginning, but I think I picked up with Pragmata as kind of where I jumped in there.
So yeah, they started the show with the Free Shepherd, which is a game that's coming on PS5 and Steam, I think in 2027, super early. And it was a big sheepdog, open fields. It feels like that It feels like a PS2 game, right? It was
Yeah.
like a.
Yeah.
It looks pretty good. So I
Babe
mean,
Babe
from Frame
Simulator.
Interactive. Mm,
That dog's hauling ass. That's all I
and
know.
then
I watched that video. That dog is getting it across that field.
and then we had Decrepit, which was a Dark Souls looking Elder Scrolls mixture that's going to be coming to Steam at some point in the future. And then we went on to the next part, which was Audio Mech, which was a very PlayStation 1-esque game, right, Brand? It's like
Yeah.
stream your music to play your games, and there's going to be a demo coming out December 12th, which is as of yesterday. And so how that would work, I don't know, because like for me, most of my music is streamed through streaming services. So am I able to link that on there? Is it able to read through there? Will this work on anything but a PC? The demo will tell. Then we went into Capcom's. My favorite part of the show, Capcom's. We're just gonna announce shit and finally actually give you dates because the long,
Right.
digestive, pragmatic finally got a date with the little surprise and notification at the very end of the trailer that it was coming to Switch 2. And that it's coming to April 24th, soonish.
And
We
it's
got more
also
gameplay look on
the little girl from Pragmata is getting an amiibo as well,
there. Yes, they are getting
which
some
was
Nintendo-based
interesting.
tie-in. Which, sure, because I think didn't they announce that Resident Evil Requiem was going to get some amiibos at some point? They didn't show
Yeah, I think
any,
it's getting a
but
great Grace Ashcraft amiibo.
they just said
Maybe
like, "Hey, this
maybe
is
a
the thing that's
Leon.
happening."
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, allusions to later. So we also had a tabletop rule set based The Last of 2. It's got a early access release, which is crazy that we have to announce an early access release for March 12th, 2026, which is not early access. But here we are. How did we get here? Um, outside of that, we had a look at Tank Rat, which I think was with like a custom built salvage vehicle based
Yeah,
armor core thing for vehicles, and that was coming in spring 2026. Um, Next up was my game of the show, which is Bradley the Badger, which was made by
very
former Ubisoft.
very
Uh,
interesting looking game.
yeah, made by former Ubisoft developers who've left the company, especially Mario plus Rabbids. I think was uh the directors from there, and I don't know if Grant Kirkhope was the composer or not, but I remember him talking about it on Twitter. So I feel like maybe he is a composer for this. But it is a platformer with a lot of style. Leave it at that.
You think Ubisoft's kicking themselves after all these unique devs left the company and seemingly doing very well for themselves?
And then we had
All the
a Stupid Never
spinoffs.
Dies. Yep. From the new studio from GP Track 50, which is being run by, I guess, the old producer for the newer Resident Evil games over at NetEase. This is one of the ones that we got a lot of NetEase new studio that they had stolen some talent from on this showcase. But as they put in the question here is, what if it's Hi-Fi Rush but with zombies? So it's kind of like you can imagine how that game plays. Then we had my good old friend Casey Hudson, who I'm a huge fan of because he made the Mass Effect games that I like,
Mm-hmm.
as well as the KOTOR games that other people like, and is making a new Old Republic game RPG called Star Wars RPG Fate of the Old Republic.
There was some
And which
talk.
he had guaranteed everybody that it is coming out before 2030 because he's old. He's like, I'm old, guys. I was like, it's going to be out before 2030.
There was some talk the studio just founded and it wouldn't be out till like 2030. He's like, no, we're trying to get this game out. I'm getting old. As Cesar said, I'm getting old.
Yeah. He's like, I'm getting old, man. I can't be doing this shit for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had the world's best, least kept secret, which was a new Divinity game. Wasn't Divinity 3, even though that trademark's been filed. But Larian Studios' next big game is Divinity, which was a fucking fever dream where they're burning people alive and people were having
Yeah.
pagan sex.
That was a
I'm
weird.
like, oh, okay.
that was a graphic trailer, and my youngest child was glancing up like periodically at this trailer. And when the pagan sex was occurring, and like the skin was getting all crazy on the person inside that pyre, I was like, look away from this one.
Mhm.
Just look away from this one. It's not like this is like Diablo gross sort of cutscene. Just look away from these. Bacon
Yeah, I mean,
sex.
dude, we literally got nothing. Yeah, we literally got like no context on what's going on
Yeah.
here outside of like this is like a fever dream for somebody who's a Christian. But they're like, yeah, this is what everybody does.
If you're not in church on Sunday morning, this is what you're out there doing.
Yeah.
This is how I would have some people describe to me, like, this is what happens when you leave church. This is what everybody's doing. I'm like, what? No, there's no way this is what everybody's doing.
I'm
I
glancing
just wanted
over.
to sleep in. No, wake up and
Yeah.
there's
This is what you're doing when you're sleeping in,
they're
Brent?
burning an effigy.
You're grinding.
They're burning an effigy out in the front yard, and people screwing. And
Somebody's grinding on top of you while they roast someone alive in a cage. You should be here taking communion.
Yeah, because nothing does it for me more than burning somebody at the stake. But
It might be warm.
it's gonna get cold.
So
I'm looking to see if we're
Next up
losing
was,
any viewers on the restream dashboard. It looks like we're good. We might have added one.
I was trying to tiptoe, man. I was trying to tiptoe.
Yeah.
No, it's pretty good. We went there. It was pretty good.
So next up, we had the newly announced Bad Robot and Sony Interactive Entertainment's 4 Loop, which we finally got a gameplay, which they said they're going to do a play test to kind of shape it. This is from the creator of Left 4 Dead, where I guess they were 3D printing people. That's what I saw on there, a lot of on there, which was interesting. Which is a sci-fi game, which looks like we're gonna do something kind of like sci-fi, like Helldivers based, but not Helldivers. But it's like something wacky like that. But
We should absolutely try
I
this
don't know.
out. This looked like an Us game. As soon as I was watching this, I was like, "This is a podcast game."
I don't know. I was kind of lukewarm on it. I was like, I want to see more.
I'm happy with a play test.
The other one, the John Carpenter game, to me
The
looks
toxic one.
Toxic
Oh
Avengers.
yeah, I
or
thought the
whatever,
same
but
thing on that one too.
That one to me, I was like, I'd probably play that one over this just based on what I'd seen. So
I'm
Next up, we had
kicking myself
Coven.
for not doing the Arc Raiders test. That was all. That was us 100%.
Curtis test was fun, but after that we had as they announced from I want to say industry plants, but they're not industry plants. Industry veterans from Uncharted and Last of Us and whatnot. Their game called Coven of the Chicken Foot with Obasan in there, which is a grandmother going around in what's like a
very PS2
platformer.
Yeah.
Yeah, platformer. It's like it's a
Co-op
platform. It's puzzle
platformer?
topping. Yeah. I think it's right now. It's only been announced for Steam. You can wish list it now, but it looks interesting. I can tell you that much. I'm always down for a good platformer. So then we have Ontos, which is their spiritual successor to Soma, which is crazy. I just don't know why I just don't call it Soma 3 or 4 or
Yeah.
whatever the hell is out there.
Did it need a
But sure,
rebrand?
let's go with that.
Is someone not have that big of a brand recognition? Maybe
That would be my guess that somebody doesn't have the rights, probably.
Yeah.
But it does have Stellan Skarsgård, and the Skarsgårds know how to act. So it's that Skarsgård. Which Skarsgård is the one that does the clown from It? Bill, is it not Bill? I can't remember. There's 3 of them.
Stellan.
So.
Bill's the older one. Bill's in Pirates,
True Blood, right?
That's Bootstrap Bill.
Yeah.
I got him backwards. I think Stellan is the one in Pirates of the Caribbean. That's the Papa Skarsgård. I'll take famous Skarsgård
right.
for 400.
Yep.
Yes.
Bill Skarsgård.
Yep. Stellan is the one from Pirates of the Caribbean. Richard's 100% correct.
Bootstrap Bill. The whole Bill thing threw me off.
Bootstraps to
Now
bootstrap.
Bill Skarsgård is the one that's playing the clown on It.
Yep.
Yes.
As well as Welcome to Derry, which is
Welcome to
doing
Derry.
pretty well.
Stellan.
And then his brother Alexander Skarsgård is the one who's in True Blood that played the vampires. He also played Tarzan.
That's right. Name your
So,
Skarsgård.
Famous families, famous Skarsgårds. All right, and then outside of that, Richard's excitement, which was leaked earlier, and after some award wins, was South of Midnight is officially coming to PS5 and Switch 2.
Everyone should play this game. This is an amazing game. It needs to be out on everything all the time. I want to be able to
Hey man,
buy
you
a
looking at
physical
me?
copy of this.
I've beaten it on Game Pass. I will buy both these copies, and
Yep.
since they're coming out from Microsoft, I have high faith that is definitely at least getting a PlayStation physical, since they've been pretty faithful for getting PlayStation physicals out.
Yeah.
I mean, we all bought Flight Simulator, right? So I mean, holy shit, there's a physical version of Flight Simulator that's on disc, that on PlayStation, but not on Xbox.
And
Mad world.
these
But
controls,
Crazy.
the way South of Midnight plays, begs for the DualSense. It just does. Her powers and stuff. What's next?
outside of that, we had Order of the Sinking Star, which is a new narrative-driven puzzle adventure with over 1,000 puzzles coming to Steam 2026. You can wishlist it now. As Richard mentioned before, wishlisting is very important. Gets
Mm-hmm.
exposure for the game. So if you like it, do it. It's the opposite of drugs. Don't do drugs, but do wishlisting. All right, Exodus: Rise of the Jun. It's a new grand sci-fi adventure from Jun Aslan about lowly scavengers and celestials. It's just an action RPG, and this is
I
a
don't
lot of
remember this
Wizards of
one.
the Coast type stuff that come on here. And then we had another Dungeons and Dragons announcement for a third-person game. It was a teaser. I think this is way off from development. It's coming in the consoles and PC, and it's like a third-person action game. They didn't really show much. It was just mostly a CG trailer.
It was. This looked good though.
Next up is where I started to have fun, because Control
There you
Resident.
go.
I'm super excited about it. I love Control. You play as Dylan, which is Jesse's brother, who is not 100% there when you played the first Control,
Mm.
which kind of explains a lot of this out of the world stuff happening in here, because you don't know if this is happening in his mind or is actually happening in the house.
Okay.
So it is very interesting. It's a very different approach to the storyline on here. So I don't know if it's going to play exactly the same as Control. So that's coming out quickly in 2026. This is on consoles and PC. And like I said before, you play as Jesse Fadden's brother Dylan, who you spent that whole first game trying to rescue, who was being captured in the house. Next up is one of the weirdest releases ever. I guess I don't know why you just wouldn't let him make what he wanted, and
Yeah.
so he's just going to keep making Like a Dragon games without Like a Dragon on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Like a Dragon creator, he's next game called Gang of Dragon,
Gang of Dragon.
which looks like a new Yakuza style action game from former Yakuza developer. No release date on there. But
No. It's not the same as Like a Dragon. It's like Gang of Dragon. It goes do 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 do
Yeah.
do do. Ours
But
isn't
it
the
looks
same.
interesting. So I mean, yeah, I mean they went differently now since it's turn based, but I don't know, maybe because that's the route he didn't want to go. Who knows? We still have what we can call probably the most ambitious Lego game ever made, Lego Batman: Legacy of the Dark Knight.
God, it looks
which
so
is still coming out
good.
of May 29th of next year. It looks like a full-fledged Batman game, but in Lego form, which is
In
crazy.
Lego
It's like,
form.
and what's crazy is this game costs like fucking $70. It's mad world. But I was like, it looks worth it. But looking at a Lego game for $70 as quickly as they dropped, I don't know, man.
It's hard
I'm
to
excited
like
for
day
it.
one support Lego.
And then next up is Richard's Wet Dream. We had not one but two Tomb
That's
Raiders
fair.
announced back to back.
We did.
Tomb Raider. We have Tomb Raider Catalyst, which is the next entry in the series, coming in 2027, a little ways off. And then we had Legacy
Cesar,
of
it's so
Atlantis
far
for,
away. If only I had some more Tomb Raider to play until 2027.
yeah. Until then, you can rely on Tomb Raider: A Legend of Atlantis, which is a remake of the very first Tomb Raider, which is being assisted on them by was it Wild Flying Hog, who's done the
Who was
Shadow
that
games. I forgot what it's
studio?
called.
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah, it says Shadow ones. I just played their game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw this, and it had been rumored that it was a remake of the first game, but then like I saw the dinosaur prints and the big T-Rex and the raptors, and I was like, oh my god, this is it.
Richard, it's Shadow Warrior and Evil West.
Okay.
So, they made those.
That's a
and so
good
that's coming out
studio.
next year. The whole draw. Yeah. Wild Flying Hog. I saw that name on there. It's like, yeah, I'm down with that.
Two
A lot of
Tomb
people
Raider
like
games.
Richard were excited about. A lot of people were excited like Richard, where you can play, you can fight the T-Rexes again, which is totally awesome. If you sign up now, I think there's websites where you can give you different costumes or cosmetics through, of course, Amazon, since they are publishing this. They'll give you codes now that you can kind of like sign up for
Yeah,
to use when that game comes out next year.
the
So
one I saw was like the wetsuit from Tomb Raider Underworld, I believe. Like when you start that game, you're in a wetsuit, so you get that outfit. Both of these projects look really good. I'm excited. We need more Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider's awesome.
it's back. I mean,
Tomb
we have a
Raider
new
is
TV
back.
show and movie coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So, and an animated series that got canceled, oddly enough. But
Which was
then you
really
had
good.
Force 3. Yeah, that was a bad thing. Then you have Force 3, which is I guess when I thought about it, I was like, has there been two other Force? But they have been. It's the Force and the Son of the Force, which sounds like a
This is Revenge of the Forest.
movie trilogy of the 1980s. So, and
Various sharks that are coming after boats.
but
Then you get Forest
outside
40.
of that, and outside of that, believe it or not, in the year of our Lord 2025, somehow Divinity was more demonic and devilish than Diablo 4's Lord of Hatred trailer that we got.
It was kind of tame, right, compared to that Divinity, the Pagan Sex trailer.
You should have led with Diablo 4, and then went to Divinity. So now you kind of set the bar high.
They did.
Coming out at the end of April 28th, for current consoles outside of Switch and PC. Get 2 new classes: Paladin, which is out now, and then the Return of the Horadric Cube in a climatic battle against Mephisto. So
it's only a matter of time before it comes to Switch, right? Because we got a really good port of Diablo 3 for Switch. Switch 2 is what I'm meaning, obviously.
South of Midnight is probably the first true Microsoft game that's coming to Switch too, right? Everything else has been Bethesda.
Yeah.
So that is the first. They finally got their fucking dev.
Even Indiana Jones, Fallout, yeah, all that stuff.
Yep.
Was there a Fallout?
Skyrim too. By the way, Skyrim, yeah. By the way, if I'm not going to talk about this in Gamesplay because I don't know how much time we have, but if you own a physical copy of Skyrim on Switch and
Skyrim Anniversary,
you have purchased the Anniversary DLC, what I've learned is that you have to launch Skyrim without installing the Anniversary DLC on Switch. Then it gives you the option to claim the Switch 2 version. And then you can claim the Switch 2 version. And what I've learned is once you take the cartridge out, I can launch the Switch 2 version without the cartridge. I can just play it like I own the Switch 2 version.
What?
So I don't have to have a cartridge in there. Yeah, yeah. So just an FYI, I can go over this later after the show. But there's a certain way you have to claim stuff. All right. Now back to what I was talking about.
Is it too late? Can I buy that Anniversary add-on and try it?
No.
It's not too late?
Yeah, so basically if you don't have the Anniversary Edition, which is $20 for the DLC, that's all it would cost you, $20 to get the Skyrim for Switch 2. So
I think
and I can confirm everyone's way better because it doesn't take 6 years to load like it did on the Switch.
It's still apparently only about 30 frames per second. They didn't bump it up to 60, but still, it's for the most part, it's like way better.
It plays so well on Steam Deck. I can wait.
It's not the best. It's not the best portable way of playing it, but it's way better than playing it on Switch.
True.
I'll put some hours in that Switch version.
Yeah. All right. So then we have Hogwarts Legacy, which that'll drop that night, which is going to be free in Epic Games until the 18th. I think they have some kind of weird crossover from Harry Potter that's going to be happening now, or sometimes in Fortnite, which coincided with that. We had a trailer for No Law, which was one of my favorite studios, The Ascent.
Sorry, that Epic Game Store, the Epic Game Store giveaways just leaked. Hogwarts Legacy was December 11th is when that went live. Jurassic World Evolution 2, then Desperados 3, then Total War Warhammer, Tropico 5, Chicken Police, Paint It Red, Loop Hero, Lego Batman, Commander Keen, Farming Simulator 2022, Terraria, and then Detroit Become Human. Mortal Kombat 11 is the... What's that?
You had me at Commander Keen.
Yep. Mortal Kombat 11 is after that, and then December 31st is Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to be free on the Epic Game Store. These are some pretty big ones. Remind you that is a free account to sign up for. And you just add these to your library. And There are ways to play this on Steam Deck that are pretty straightforward. So don't let that be the
launcher.
barrier.
It's not against the rules.
Yep, it's not against the rules.
From the studio that created the Ascent, this is coming to consoles, Windows, PC, Series consoles. No law. Then we had the big release of the show right here. In my opinion, one of the big releases was we got a new Total War Warhammer 40,000. And what was huge about it is that the new engine they're running on is actually you can play this on consoles now, which is fucking huge. These games haven't been on consoles in ever. So not only is this coming to PC, this is also coming to PS5 and the Series consoles. So, Ace Combat 8, Wings of Thief, it's been announced. It's coming to current gen consoles next year. You can wishlist it on Steam. Super excited about that one. And we know Brant's a big fan of that pod racing. You love that pod racing, Brant?
Yes, love pod
now
racing.
That's pod racing. Yeah, so we got Star Wars Galactic Racer Greens.
Pod Racer was a really good game. I'm very excited about Ace Combat and pod racing. These two hit for me. Both of these hit for me.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not talking shit about it.
But that Galactic Racer is
all coming next year. Yeah.
It's not like a pure pod racer. Like they had all sorts of stuff out there, right?
No, it's more than just pod racing. Yeah,
it was like the MotorStorm of pod racing, or like drag races at a nearby racing facility that we all have access to, where they'll have like, here's a lawnmower versus a Corvette, and they line up and do a drag. Brand knows what I'm talking about.
No longer AMS. Now it's Echo.
I went for that one night and had a hell of a time watching these stupid drag races of all these random things. It was a good time.
I mean, Richard, you had it right, man. I think MotorStorm is a good description of this.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like on the concept video, at least. So, then we had the Wind Awakening, which is a Japanese action game coming to series consoles, pretty much everything, on December 23rd. We finally got a date for Phantom Blade Zero, which is September 9th of next year, 2026. It's coming to PC and PS5. This is kind of like that action RPG that everybody gets confused with the other game that's popular, like with Where the Wind Falls or something like that. Oh, excuse me. Outside of that, Keeley kind of alluded to, like, this is a game that everybody's kind of begged for sequels to come out for. They started out with a live orchestra and led right into Mega Man Dual Overdrive, which is a fresh entry in the 2D side-scrolling Mega Man game. And this is not coming out till 2027, but this is pretty much coming out to everything ever made. I think you even saw Switch on there and PS4, even though it's not listed on here. Whether or not that actually still happens, I don't know, because that's another 2 years. And whether those are going to...
If the Switch is even relevant then, right?
Which maybe PS4 probably not, because there's a lot of PS4 cancellations. Like they just canceled Tomba 2 for PS4. So it's like you're starting to see a lot of that PS4 stuff.
We're in that era of switch over.
Yeah,
I heard the orchestra fire.
Yeah, we announced it.
I heard that.
Yeah, we announced Tomba 2 for PS4, and now we're canceling it. We don't know what happened. So
like that can't run on PS4, right?
Yeah, I know.
I heard the Mega Man tune through that orchestra, and I was like, wait a minute, is that what I think it is? Like, why are they playing? I heard that Mega Man theme. I was like, damn. And then and it looks like a return to form. Like he dropped in. It reminded me of when they relaunched those for PSP. We got, what was that, Mega Man Powered Up, like the chibi one, and then there was a remake of Mega Man X in like a different PSP style, and it looked like that the way he dropped in. I was like, holy shit, they're going for this. This is legitimate. It's a 2D. I talk on the show all the time about, man, I thought like the next Mega Man for PS2 was going to look like a souped up version of PS1 or Super Nintendo, like that progression of that, and it looks,
Bomberman for 360.
Oh dear God, I have seen reference to that way too much recently in all this Xbox 360 nonsense that Brant has me barreling down the path of. You're not wrong. The Samus Master Chief Bomberman. We sold a couple copies of those. I was in retail when that came out. We sold some of those. I remember seeing that cover like, what the? Oh my God. Do I have Bomberman for 360?
So outside of that, while we finish this up, unfortunately, I don't know why this article skipped it, but they did show another look at Resident Evil 9.
It did.
9.
Where they kind of leaked out, not leaked out, but what was the worst kept secret was, Leon, who doesn't look that much older, but I mean, in his 50s and 60s.
His hair looks good.
they claimed that on the Capcom part were, Grace would be more of the traditional horror-based stuff where, she's a veteran, and not a veteran, but like a greenhorn, a beginner. So like most of her segments are going to be more tense horror-based, while Leon is more the veteran, so it's going to be more of that Resident Evil 4-esque. So it's trying to balance it off. They will play differently. So you will see like those experiences those characters have play out in the story. So which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, and you can see that in the different trailers. How Leon is definitely more traditional action based, like we know he is, and from 4 and everything and 2. But Grace, she's legitimately getting scared out of her mind, and in the running sequences, she can actually like kind of trip and stumble, and she's not used to facing down all these monstrosities.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll end on here, which was what some people found, which was the most controversial announcement of the show, which was here's a game that we want to talk about that's been free to play and blah 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 blah. This is supposed to be your exact guide to the show, but then
This
again
is,
we got to
the big end.
we got to remind ourselves that this is basically the Super Bowl of video games, right? They said it was like $1 million per spot. It's
Yep.
like not everybody's gonna be paying for this shit now anymore. You're not looking for people to fill up an audience to bring in the show. It's the other way around.
Right.
So they announced High Guard, which is a free-to-play game from former Apex and Titanfall developers, which comes out January 26, 2026. Ooh, blah, blah, blah.
Very soon.
That's coming to Series consoles, PCs, and PS5. So it's free to play. I'm sure many of us, plus Bleach on the show, would probably want to give this a try at some point. So,
damn, I
see
like
what
them
it's all
riding the
about.
horses. This looks crazy.
But all in all, that is your Game Awards. We've talked and alluded to before, but Claire Scare, they did the sweep. They basically
Cleaned up.
like won every award, but like one maybe, I think.
Yeah.
But
South
I
of
mean,
Midnight
and
was in
which
there. They won.
yeah. Well, their
Yeah.
categories won their categories.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase that.
I was about to say, yeah. Basically, if Claire Obscura was, named as one of the nominees, they were
It won.
99.9% chance of winning the category. You're right.
Deservedly so. I played that game. The
Yes.
game's really, really good. Story's awesome. It is definitely one of the best games I played this year. So,
I played a
but
little
yeah,
bit.
that is it.
I played a little bit of it on the ROG Ally, and I was like, this doesn't look that great. It's not running well. I need to give this its due diligence.
On console.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and then yesterday it got an update where it's Steam Deck verified and stuff, and I don't know if it still runs all that well or looks good, but it got the verified check. I think the consensus is play this one on console, right? Or a good gaming PC, not one of the handheld PCs.
I think when it eventually comes to Switch 2, and that might be your best bet portably. I've monkeyed around and tinkered with it on ROG and Steam on both versions, the Windows-based version and the Steam version. I own both, and there's not it's not a lot of good shaders in there. So it's usually you make it look great and it runs like butt, or it looks like butt and it runs great, and there's nothing in between.
It is not handheld gaming optimized currently.
Yeah. So if some of us, some people are like, hey, all I have is a Steam Deck, and you want to play like the proverbial game of the year, fuck it, do it.
It's on there. Yeah.
But if
go
you have
for it.
multiple ways of doing it, there might be better avenues. So it's all personal preference. Don't let my negativity ruin and damper your day. So if that's all you have is a Steam Deck, absolutely play it. Story's great. How some people's eye tests, your eyes will adjust. At some point, it won't look as holy as a while. So
we do have the privilege of multiple options, right? So we can pick and choose between those, but I don't think you can go wrong if you have a way of playing it.
I'm trying to avoid becoming my coworkers, because every time I bring up something exciting to my coworkers, it's like, yeah, this thing is awesome, and then the first things out of their mouth is like, yeah, but this is better. That's great, but this is better. It's like, dude, I didn't even mention the other thing. It's like, how did we get there? It's like this. What has happened to our society? Where it's like I talked about something exciting, but yeah, that was cool, but this is better. And I'm like,
Actually,
that.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is wrong with us, man? And I was like sitting here like, man, I'm just trying to enjoy something, and you're like, oh no, this is better. And I'm like, why do I
I
even
will
talk?
say though, I did my experience with the game. I played it and I was enjoying the story, but I was playing through Xbox cloud streaming. Definitely not the optimal
Don't
way
go
to
that
play
route. Yeah.
with the delay or lag for the action inputs. I would say during the battle sequences,
Mm-hmm.
play it somewhere where you don't have that latency issue.
Yeah.
Cloud
Yeah,
streaming.
that game is very big, as Brant brought on here for timing, um, for the battles. So as Brant alluded, that is something you definitely want to make sure that is whatever you play is viable for that
And that's just
Yeah,
that's
that's
enjoy
that
that's
that's
enjoyment of
a
the game. You're not going to get the
yeah.
correct enjoyment of the
gameplay.
game by doing that. Yeah.
Mhm. That's a big component of the battle system. So
Now,
That's our
within the recent updates, probably since Brant has played it, the recent updates they kind of like dial back the difficulty on doing those prompts. Whether or not that's going to affect it on any delay based cloud gaming, I don't know, or if they
mhm.
made up for that, but it's not as vigorous as it was before. Like it was like you had to be fucking dead on. It's like
oof,
there was like no
no
leeway on some of
leeway.
that stuff.
Yeah.
That was like because there was so many times where I was like, I fucking hit him, and there's no way, and after the update, it's like it reads it better. Yeah, I was
Sure.
like,
Yeah.
Sure.
that's me screaming out. That's me screaming in my room, like, no, there's no fucking way. I
There's
hit
no
that shit.
fucking way. This is a turn-based RPG. There's no fucking way. I got him first. No, Cesar, you touch on an important point. Like we never want to sound gatekeepy, and always call us out if that's how it sounds in any capacity. But we'll try to point you in the right direction of how best to play. And how best to play may not match how you can play, and don't let that deter you in any capacity. Unless something's just totally broken, and we will call out if something is totally broken. Buish and friend of the show Renee are going off in the chat just chanting Steam Deck. So, Steam Deck apparently is their preferred way to play.
Renee's been playing a lot of Steam Deck since he's back on the road. So,
Steam
They're
Deck is
loving the
amazing.
deck.
Steam Deck is amazing. It is top tier. It has me excited about a Steam machine or a future
Yep.
successor to the Steam Deck. Like they know what they're doing with that thing. Are we ready for games played? I'm gonna cut out a bunch of shit because we actually want to play some more games.
Yes.
Been playing some Battlefield on and off. Maybe that's our multiplayer game going forward. It seems like,
Yeah,
and that's what
we played together.
we did
Couple weeks
2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I'm not even acknowledging Buish in the chat. Y'all can read that if you want to. I'm not even acknowledging him. But that seems to have turned into our online multiplayer game of choice. That's what we'll be playing. We're gonna queue up a stream as soon as we're done with this episode. But last week, Buish and I checked out the Red Sec, the drop in multiplayer, the battle royale segment of Battlefield, and it kind of, I mean, if we all play this, I want you guys to go in fresh and kind of get your own impressions, but it's good overall. It's kind of a combination of some of our favorites. It has the trailing system of Apex, like we don't want to all parachute down together. Cesar's the jump leader. We all jump out when Cesar jumps out and we go where he's headed, right? We can nominate areas to go to and there's a trail of smoke showing where you're headed and that sort of thing. The map is huge. There's all sorts of different, I don't want to say biomes, but just like areas. You've got construction sites, you've got desert, you've got a beach resort, you've got water. You've got the color system from Fortnite, like with the weapons, which I think I say Fortnite, but I feel like everybody ended up incorporating that, right? But there's like little mini missions that you can do in the midst of it. So it's not just survive and hide from people. It's, hey, go arrange this satellite and point it to the next area, and then go move that satellite, and then you'll get extra XP. And there's other things inside of the round where if you don't kill anybody or you don't win, you don't feel like you wasted time, right? So there's a round like Weish and I came in 6th or 7th maybe, but we played it for 45 minutes. But we did a lot of stuff. Like we did a lot of the little tiny missions here and there, and I didn't feel like it was a complete waste of time. I guess that's my big game played. I got 2 new pieces of hardware. The first one I have not opened yet, so I'll show this off. This is the Atari 7800 Plus. This finally dropped down. I missed the last sale that it was on, and then right around, I guess, Cyber Monday or something, it dropped down to even lower than that price, and I was like, fuck it, I've got to have this thing. I eventually want to have some sort of capture of River Raid. This is the newer release that they've come out with. It comes with the wireless, the crappy gamepad that came with the 7800. The 7800 was a competitor for the NES. It was shelved, and then the NES kind of resurrected the industry here in America, and then Atari countered with this thing, and it basically was it's behind the times already as soon as it came out, but it played 2600 games. But I figured it was a really good way to get HDMI capture for some of these old games. I've been wanting to play some River Raid and capture that, so I think this will be way easier than trying to figure out coax to AV to what does that look like in the Retro Tink when you only have one channel that's going in there. So hopefully this is a little bit easier and better. It comes with that controller. I'll probably never use that. And Bentley Bear's Crystal Quest cartridge that comes in there. But this plays all 2600 and 7800 games.
Yay.
Yay. Old games. Speaking of old games, Cesar could probably help me with this one. After much delay, it feels like it took forever for this thing to come out. I pre-ordered this a year and a half ago, and then they talked about it, and then they were dead silent, and then release dates came, and release dates went. That was me closing the box. That was weird sounding. This is the Analog 3D. This is Analog's FPGA answer for the N64. And I busted this out probably the week of Thanksgiving. You needed an update right off the rip. Between Amazon warehouse deals and my first pre-order, I got a set of 4 controllers. So I got 4 complete wireless controllers, the 8-bit DOE ones. And I think I paid full price for one of them. And then the Amazon warehouse deals were like $21 and stuff. And so I ran the first round of updates. You have to update it before you can do anything. I updated all the controllers through 8-bit DOE's. Have y'all ever had to update 8-bit DOE controllers through their like portal thing online? Like you download an app for it and just run. It's pretty easy. Like that's as far as updates go, that's a pretty quick and convenient way to do things. The first night I plugged it in, I ran the updates and I started popping cartridges in and just playing stuff that I knew how it should look. Like even with messing with like, there's great filters on there. There's consumer CRT, there's PVM, there's BVM, there's clean, which is like a LCD, like there's no scan lines or anything. It's just that wasn't my preference. But there was just a bunch of filters you can run through. The biggest thing about this device, there's an overclock mode. And you have to run that update to unlock these different overclock. And it's not just one. There's like 3 different ones. There's overclock plus, I think is the name of it. And then there's an ultimate one, which is like unleashed or unlocked or something like that. I almost feel like it's unleashed. And it's an overclocked N64 with this FPGA configuration. And it runs like Perfect Dark is a good example. I've seen some gameplay footage of the Castlevania 64 games. I haven't played those personally, but it irons those out to like a rock solid frame rate, and it just performs so much better than it did on stock hardware. Everything I threw at it looked good. Another thing I added is that I think it's Retro Game Core, the YouTube channel. They were sent a review unit, and when you pop in a cartridge, it puts a little icon up and it tells you like Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, 1997, 1 player. Nintendo EAD, I think, was the studio that made it. So it gives you a little bit of info about the game. There's no graphic on the cartridge. And basically, these cartridges stay in your library as they pop up. So if you've popped in a cartridge, it's in your library. And there's no artwork for these natively. But Retro Game Core dumped those files onto GitHub. So right after I first initially was popping these cartridges in, I was like, let me go grab that artwork. And it was just an unzip basically from the GitHub and straight on there. And it works flawlessly, and those immediately pop in. I was showing friend of the show Mark's Night. He was over. When you exit out, so you can be playing Perfect Dark, Mario Kart, whatever. You exit out, and you're on the main screen. You don't turn the console off. You just lift the cartridge out, set it down. You pick up another cartridge and put it in, and it pops up on that menu. Like you never cut the system off. You don't do the on-off thing like we're used to, and it's so bizarre. Even Brant's shaking his head. Brant's like, I don't know about this. But you don't need to like turn the system on or off, which would have
swapping cartridges.
Oh, it would have corrupted the shit out of our N64, right? It would just freeze and you'd be stuck on, Mario's jumping or whatever. It's just like, you would have just been stuck on whatever that is. But then on Thanksgiving, Cesar was over with us playing. We played a good bit of Perfect Dark multiplayer. We played a good bit of NFL Blitz when it was just Cesar and I. Cesar and I lost all 3 Blitz games we played, and we lost on the last possession in every game we played. In true Blitz fashion, I was like, man, one more. I think we're getting it back. Because we like to play with the Carolina Panthers because they suck. And we can usually beat. They are the worst team in NFL Blitz 2000. We can usually beat anybody. And we lost those 2 games barely. And I was like, all right, let's just pick somebody. We got the Falcons right for the last one. The good Chris Chandler, Jerome Mathis, Jamal Anderson Falcons. And I was like, we're going to steamroll some. We could not be. Yeah, the ones that couldn't beat the Elways. And I don't think we had the Broncos that last round. I think it was the Cowboys, I want to say. And we could, again, last play of the game, like last possession, we couldn't close it out. So that's why we're rusty. We got to get back good again on Blitz. But that's a hell of a device. They've since announced they're going to make a fantastic series of those. I don't know if they're still available or they sold out.
They sold out like immediately.
Did they really? I tested. Yeah. I've had a flash cartridge to play all of my legitimate backups. It's called an ED64 Plus. I've had that for maybe 7 or 8 years. With native hardware, and it works like flawlessly. And it's kind of slow to load a ROM. It writes it to the ROM every time, so you can either like load up what was previously played or wait for it. Maybe 2 or 3 years ago, Dinosaur Planet was released, like a playable version of the N64 version of the game that eventually became Cesar's favorite GameCube game of all time, Star Fox Adventures. But you could play that on the cartridge, and that worked. So like anything I threw at this was fine. It shows up on the. Hey, man. What's that?
I said, hey man, we played a very good version of Neon Genesis Evangelion on 64. So.
We did. You played that. There, Cesar dove into some of the Japanese ROMs and had no issues with them. And what I was watching of that Neon Genesis game, that was an amazing looking game. But that was a good-ass
game, man.
So the ED64 Plus did not work on there. That was the summer cart. So I had ordered a summer cart from a seller on AliExpress, and it has a great amount of the exact same games that I have physical copies of that I now have backup copies of. Oh, Brant, if you're missing any legitimate backups on that you have, I might have some on mine where I have legitimate backups of those. So you let me know. We'll compare libraries.
Did you try any of the DD games on there?
I queued up the Mario 64 one. I was like, let me see what this is. It's Mario 64 DD demo is what it's listed as. Because I was expecting like some sort of maybe extra channels of sound or something. I couldn't tell the difference. Did you?
No, I couldn't.
Yeah. I played
around with Doshin, the giant, though.
You messed around with Doshin?
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of afraid of the F-Zero X one because I might mess around with that track creator and make all kind of crazy tracks and stuff.
Crazy tracks?
Yeah, crazy tracks. That could be a good time. But the summer cart is a awesome device. It's a huge upgrade from that ED64 Plus that I have. That thing's great. Uh, Oddly enough, my backup of Majora's Mask was only in the European folder. It was not in the North American folder in the list that I have. So maybe look at yours, Brant. Maybe we can compare that way. Cesar, you were messing around with it when I was. Did you notice anything in the Japanese ones of note outside of that Neon Genesis game? You played that one title for a little while and was reading from it. The monster hatching one.
The Monster Breeder one.
Yeah. You don't leave the town where you breed these monsters. It's kind of Pokemon-esque, but you don't leave that area. You send the monsters out at a certain point. But the tutorial, like the opening part of that it took forever.
Man, the OG-san just sat there forever just explaining shit. It's like, you do this. And I was like, damn, when's this game start? Because
Yeah,
that did the whole bit like it's basically like Pokemon. It's like, all right, you gotta like you're breeding monsters, son, and you gotta go get you a monster. And I went down there and got me one. It's like, all right, but these are all the things you can and can't do. So it's like you can't leave town, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening here? I was like,
the tutorial was so long. Needlessly, it felt like.
Richard sat there and watched me struggle with my elementary level Japanese.
No, you did fine, and I'm watching it like, okay, I'm never gonna experience this Japanese N64 game, so I was translating it live. I'm gonna enjoy this, and it was good. But I'm so impressed with this device. This analog 3D is great. It's great, and I have a 64 with access to all these games and the appropriate TV to play it on, and this is a worthy purchase and upgrade.
From
it's
everybody
fantastic.
everybody that talks about it. It's the overclocking that really does it.
Oh, the overclocking,
having
man.
some of those games actually run at a good frame rate.
And Perfect Dark multiplayer would crawl when you start doing crazy shit like throwing the pinball grenades and all that stuff we would do. Man, it is awesome. And it is so much fun. And those controllers, the controllers are incredible. Cesar, do you have any issues with those 8-bit dough 64?
No, it seemed to pick up the right number of players when March Knight was there.
That's right.
After you guys sat there and debated about which one was the perfect map you made on Perfect Dark, as we tried 85
we
different
did.
ones. No, this is the one. No, this is the one.
We did. Brant, we popped in our cartridge and it just worked from 25 years ago. And here's the maps we made 25 years ago. And we're trying to like pick out the game types and stuff that we had created. It's so awesome. On that note, I think I'm done with that. This device is amazing. When you sync the controllers, it pops up on the LED. It'll show you on the analog 3D. It'll show you like one player lights up, two player lights up, and it'll show them lit up on the console. So that's a great touch. We've talked for weeks about this. Friend of the show, Joel, found a bunch of GameCube memory cards, right? So I reached out to him. He shipped them to me a month ago. They got held up in the local UPS main office as fraud. So they sat there for 2 weeks and he's had to reach out to them. GameCube memory cards. He had to reach out to them. Apparently they've been released, so maybe I'll get them in the next week or so. We've been telling the listeners like we're going to do a stream and look at this GameCube content. They got held up. I was so worried they were lost, like never going to see them sort of thing. And like, even if you insure GameCube memory cards, do you insure the value of the memory card? Do you insure 25 years of data, like memories? You can't, what is the value on that? They're not going to give a shit about that. So hopefully we have a resolution for that before too awfully long. Oh my God, it's 10:20. I promise I try to make that as brief as possible. If you have any questions about the Analog 3D, reach out to us, nofodcast@gmail.com, or one of us individually. That thing is awesome. If you love the 64, it is a great way to play the 64. Highly recommend. Fantastic device. I'm very pleased. I can't wait to play more 64.
Friend of the show, March Knight. Friends of the show, March Knight will read all your emails. He's still doing them now.
He is reviewing the emails. I knew you were laughing at that bit. I was like, Mark Knight's getting the emails and looking them over. I tinkered with a whole bunch of other shit. I acquired some random shit. I want to talk about racing wheels and all sorts of stuff. Oh, yeah. Trying to decide who's naughty or nice. Mark's Knight nice.
Here we go.
'Tis the season, Cesar. We have to observe.
Yeah.
This is the podcast of Christmas traditions and pagan sex.
I'm over here like that meme where I was like, oh my.
Or is it pagan
They're going.
traditions and Christmas sex? Which one are we gonna go? What's our mantra? That was the meme.
For me, I'm gonna keep it brief.
You wrapped up Dragon Quest. I saw the platinum trophy on the main page. I definitely want to know about Dragon Quest.
Yeah, I destroyed it. I beat everything. I got every ending. I had everything. I did everything in Dragon Quest 3.
When do I get to a battle?
So
I want to go back to it, but it didn't grab me, and I'm just.
I told you, man. You just walk outside.
I rented these people, and I don't
walk outside the town.
I don't care about the 3 people I got, and I got to go talk to this lady, and I still haven't fought a battle, and I'm like, man, I just want to fight something.
So essentially, like where I left off last time, and so like I said, you discover this other part of the world, which is a world underneath the world, which is called like the dark world, and you have what the overall arching enemy, like the demon lord down there, who's actually running everything. He had originally sent the archfiend up to your world, trying to take over your world. He was actually a follower of that one on there. So I don't want to get too much into the story. So Richard, your answer to your question is literally step outside the town.
Get outside the town,
then you can engage in any out of town. Yeah, you're on the cusp of actually experiencing the game, because this whole point of this game is that there is no, like I mentioned last time, there is no party association, kind of like the modern day RPGs where you meet characters and you build a rapport with them and you integrate their story and get integrated to their background, and they have a reason why to be in your party, type of thing. It's not, you literally just create people.
You don't have Tifa or Red 13. Yeah.
These are just to balance out your battles. That's all it is. All I can recommend anybody playing this game is change your classes often. Learn as many spells as you can, because that's going to be your difference maker as you go further in the game. Because at some point you're going to need multiple people that can heal, multiple people that can do different attacks, like monster taming, stuff like that. Will make your battles immensely easier. I don't want to go too much into the story. As Richard alluded, I beat the shit out of this game. I platinumed it, unlocked every trophy, which included me getting every ending and all that stuff on there. And there's like some little after game stuff you could do on here to kind of alter some of the aspects of the story, which makes it interesting. All I can tell you is that this story is basically about the main character, which is the hero, and his father. His father's the fucking GOAT. I can tell you that much. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. There's a lot of instances where he's integrated in that whole story, and he's like, man, this guy, it's good shit, man. It's like good classic anime based stuff, but like father son anime based stuff.
It's awesome.
Outside of that, before I go into the one thing I want to talk about is I did purchase this to piss off Renee. I'm going to show it on the stream. Is Terminator 2D.
I want to know about this. Yeah.
It just came in, which is a faithful recreation of Terminator 2 and 2D. It was like Super Nintendo graphics.
Why are you pissing him off? Is it multiplayer or is it single player?
This is something that's up Renee's alley. This is the stuff, the movies he likes. He would play the shit out of it, but he's not a big fan of the Switch. So I mean, he would be more inclined to buy a digital copy in Steam at this point for Steam Deck.
Okay.
Outside of that, I'll talk about this next game, which I know Brant has been playing, so I can hand this off to Brant, so I don't sit here all day. I got a whole stack of games over here that I got too. My favorite one is I bought this for like $30, which was the Double Dragon Revive one, so I'll get to try that.
Nice.
Play that with Renee.
Which has DLC codes for like Double Dragon Dodgeball, which is I want to play the shit out of that one.
Oh, is that like
always interesting,
like River City Ransom style or Super Dodgeball?
Yep. And it's only available on that version right there.
Oh.
Outside of that, as I know Brant has played, I'm at the very end of Metro Prime 4. I don't know. I'm sure Brant either beat it or is close to beating it.
Close.
I'm at the very, very end. I've got all 5 keys. That's one hell of a game, man.
It's good.
It's damn good.
It's good.
It's
okay.
Damn good. It's damn good.
I've been curious.
This one grabbed me, unlike the other Metro Primes, because this one, I've always, when I have a game that like I wake up at 1 a.m, it's like, man, I should be going back to sleep, but then I was like, I'll put in a couple more hours of Metro Prime 4. I know it's a good game because that's what Tears of the Kingdom did to me as well. It's like I don't sacrifice sleep that often, so. But essentially, You play as Samus, who I guess is carrying an artifact, and I love my games that are time based and dimensional based. Which their base gets overrun. This artifact gets attacked. It kind of sends them into like a pocket universe where they're dealing with a lost civilization. Correct me if I'm wrong, Brent. Was it Lamore?
Yeah,
Uh,
the
Lamorne,
Veros or
Lamorne,
whatever.
Lamorne. Yeah, Lamorne.
Hmm.
Okay.
And so this is where it leads to this background story about them having psychic abilities. They have a Chatoya priest who I guess you learn that their civilization went extinct, and they would have a savior that kind of like would bring them back to the forefront and bring back their existence and their knowledge to the forefront. And you go into this whole bit where you learn about GE and how this helps grow the ecosystem, but it has a bad side effect of making certain um, biology very aggressive, or you know
Hmm.
changing their DNA. And so I'll leave it at that. I don't want to ruin too much of the story, but it does play like any other Metroid Prime. This is very reminiscent of to me of, I think I was always in the mood for an old style Legend of Zelda game. This reminds me of Legend of Zelda, where
Damn.
you have like the lava zone, and like the was it the frost area, and
Yep.
each one is kind of like its own dungeon. You get an ability to traverse that, and then sometimes you get another ability where you have to go back to the previous dungeon and unlock other things. Like you'll get a electricity blaster, ice beam, fire beam, the standard missiles, the morph ball, as well as your psychic abilities. It's a really, really well done game. There's been a lot of judgment on like the open-ended world area, which I mean, there's stuff to do. They have like these little shrines that are similar to like the Tears of the Kingdom, where you go in there and you do some puzzle solving and you unlock some more abilities. There's not a lot of them on here, so I do see like what they're trying to do, and it makes me excited if they ever make a Metroid Prime 5, because it seems
Yeah.
like I think they can
Build
expand upon
upon
it and
this
make it.
one. Yeah.
I don't make a little bit, because the game, I think I've got like 14 hours. I think the game's only like 16 hours to beat. It's not super long. It's about the same
Hmm.
length of time as the other Metroid Primes. Which is about the right amount of time.
Yeah.
Don't let the haters attract you. There's a lot of people out there comparing it, like Xenoblade Chronicles X. It's like, oh, look at this open world compared to this one, and it's like I hate that, because it's like you're not comparing
It's
Totally
not the
different
apples to
same
game.
apples.
thing. Exactly.
Yeah, you're comparing apples to oranges, or
Yep.
apples to pears. So it's like that critique is not great. If you compare this to other Metro Prime games, this is definitely a step in a new direction, and I do like it. I do enjoy the story. You do meet Federation people along the way that kind of adds on there. Some people were not happy with what's his name, Brant Miles. Uh,
Miles McKenzie. He
yeah,
is a little annoying, and I will say that it is somewhat annoying. He's a technician, and in the past games, Samus has been able to, you find the upgrade, and immediately she does whatever, puts it into her arm cannon, and hey,
Yeah.
you got fire shot now. Now it's like you find these chips, and it's like, oh, this is a special chip. It has to be analyzed and then installed by a technician, and so you have to go like all the way back from where you are back to
Engineer
him
level
just so
4.
he
Yeah.
can
Okay.
go, oh yeah, this is a
So,
chip, let me
It
look at it for a minute, and then here you go, now you can use it.
so it adds a hub
So
element to that exploration
yeah,
essentially. Okay. There's games
well,
have done that
but
before.
but it's not
essentially,
terrible.
I like him a lot. Essentially, he talks like Paul Rudd. He talks like Paul Rudd from Ant Man.
Huh.
Everything's a joke. Like like he's laughing at his own jokes.
So he
He
adds a
looks
lot
like
of
Rick
character.
Moranis.
Yeah.
Yeah, he acts like Rick Moranis. He plays the counterpart to the straight man of Samus, who has no vocal parts in there other than nods and this and here.
Grunts
So it's
and
like
yeah,
outside of that, it kind of
She's
adds
a
on.
silent
I get what they're
protagonist.
doing. Yeah,
yeah.
so it's kind of like the one that kind of clears the air, where it's just not people just sitting there awkwardly talking like, "Oh, we should do that thing. Yeah, let's go do that thing." So it's like, I'm fine with it. He reminds me a lot like Paul Rudd. Like you could throw Paul Rudd in in the live action version of that, and I was like, "Yeah, that's Paul Rudd character." It's just like fast talking, like, "Oh man, I'm just doing nerdy things over here. Don't worry about me." Da 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 da. Like stuff on there. I was fine with it. It's fine. And you meet some other characters on there as well. It seems like every
Hmm.
new area you meet like another character that got pulled into that pocket dimension with you when that artifact went off, as well as the main villain who was in there trying to steal that artifact, where you play like a very Ganondorf esque ways of him, where he just takes over things, and you're playing the main
Hmm.
villain through
Hmm.
other robotic bodies. That's not actually him. And so like
Okay.
when you defeat it, it's just an android, you know, like that he kind of took over. So this game
Ghost
in and all,
cannons.
I think if you, in my opinion, this is my opinion, if you're a big fan of Metroid games as well as Legend of Zelda, like the 3D ones, the early ones, that's what it reminds me the most of. So
Yeah.
That's high
yeah,
praise.
right now I've got the 5 keys. I'm in the Chrono Tower. I don't have much. I don't think I have much longer in this game. I'm towards the very end, but I've had a great time with it. Very much so looking forward to playing the 5th one, and I kind of want to go and play Metroid Prime 1 again fresh because I always felt like I never felt like Metroid, the first Metroid Prime ever like stuck with me, but you know, I always tried, but this one has really got its hooks in me, and I was like, man, I kind of want to go through the first one now with fresh eyes and see if it'll do the same for me. So, but that's it for I mean, I played some other stuff, but that's all I'm going to talk about. I'll pass it on
Yeah.
to Brian to finish up here.
That is also mainly what I've been playing. I'm on my way to Key. Obviously, that's kind of the whole point of this. Like Cesar was saying, you're kind of stranded here, and the whole thing is you're finding these 5 keys and taking them to this, tower is supposed to be like your way out.
Yeah.
Like he was saying, a lot of people have talked about some of the NPCs and stuff, and I could see how like some people might not like Miles. And at first he was, at least to me, a little grating, but I'm like, this is what people are pissed at. Like that, this isn't bad.
Yeah.
It's really not bad. So
it's like they're looking for something at that point, right? Like an audience
it's
or a fan base will do.
It's different for a Metroid game. That's all it is.
What is different for a Metroid game? Our last one was that Prime Force Federation bastardization thing on 3DS, right?
Yeah.
Outside of the remake of Metroid Prime Remaster, which was really, really highly revered, but not exactly an original game. Yeah.
Other than that,
Dread was a really good one too.
Yeah, Dread was awesome.
Oh, Dread. That's right. Wow, I left out a huge one. Yeah.
The weird thing to me is Nintendo and the tie-in with the amiibos, because there wasn't a lot talked about what the amiibos do. So the
you had that in the news initially. I knew you were going to come back around to that.
So the amiibo with Samus on the bike, the Viola, basically does 2 things. It like unlocks some kind of skin hub for Viola, to where the longer you ride it and the amount of areas you cover, the amount of driving you do, unlocks a new skin for it. So you get one that looks like Samus's original armor, and then it all of this, and it just does that. And then also, if you scan it while out in the big area to drive, it actually like replenishes the boost quicker. The amiibo of the enemy, the main enemy, what's it, Silex, unlocks a like a, what is it, like a secret cutscene or something that otherwise you would have to 100% the game to get.
Damn.
And
pay per view.
Right. And you got to keep in mind, that these amiibo were, I can't remember how much the bike one was. It was a little bit more because it's, a little bit bigger, but these amiibo are like $30, $30+ a pop. The big one is just the regular Samus amiibo that they released for this. So in the desert area, it's a barren desert, and there's, Metroid Prime games usually have some pretty kick-ass music. There is, I guess it just kind of plays into it. To me, the way it came across, again, before I played the game, some people were talking about like, oh, there's no music in the desert. There's absolutely zero music. And yes and no. The desert is a desert. and it play to play into this creepy factor that the flora and fauna here are now have have become more aggressive, and most of the life has died off. You have this really eerie, like, whistling slash humming slash like little bit of ambient noise in the desert.
Yeah.
But yes, not technically music. If you actually want music, you have to have the regular Samus amiibo, and then you can scan it and change the music while you're riding Viola,
Really?
which is a really odd gatekeepy thing to do with an amiibo.
Bizarre.
I was
Very
like,
Nintendo-ist.
I was
Very
like,
Nintendo.
what the fuck is this, Nintendo? What the fuck are you doing?
That's bizarre.
So
Huh.
what Brand alludes to is like it's funny because like I'll play One Piece, like Pirate Warriors or other One Piece games. Like you have to pay like the $30 DLC key to unlock the anime songs, and that's just because of the licensing fees.
Licensing.
So
Yeah.
that's the only time I've ever seen. That's the only time I've ever seen that. Like
Where
that's
they
the same thing
pass
with
it
Super
on to the
Robot Wars.
consumer.
Like you can play like the anime songs, but you got to pay money for the DLC so they can delist it from, and it's not part of the main game where you can have to delist the main game. You know what I mean? So
Right.
but
I
that's
mean,
Brand
other than,
alluded to is just music that's already in the game. It's
Yeah.
like the viola music and stuff like that. It's interesting.
yeah, it's odd because the music is there. It's
Did y'all
just
get the
the
amiibos?
ability to actually.
Have you done that part?
Today, while I was out, I actually got the regular Samus amiibo. I have, yeah,
Cesar
I have the
showing-
same two
Cesar
Cesar has.
Yeah.
I haven't jumped for Silex yet.
Same. I looked at it the other day. I was like, do I want to just wait because everything's been hitting $6? I was like, do I really want to see a movie for $30 or just wait for $6 and buy it? I was like,
Yeah,
Is it
nah,
on
I'll wait till
YouTube?
drops
Is it on YouTube, the
it
movie?
should be.
probably.
Yeah.
Other than that, I did dabble in some stuff, and then a bunch of stuff went on sale with the Game Awards. My copy of Clear Expedition, this is the Mirror Edition, which like came with a fancy steelbook. Came in.
I need to get that PS5 copy also. I'm with you guys.
This went on sale. I double dipped into Final Fantasy Tactics. Found a decent deal on the Mortal Kombat edition. Chronos New Dawn went on sale.
Cesar loved that, and friend of the show Charles loved that too.
Other than that, today I got a wild hair and wound up shopping for myself at a retro game store and picked up about 7 games.
Yeah,
So
what'd you
real quick,
get?
I'll go
Let's
over
see.
2 Wii titles. I got Red Steel, and I got the Knight's Journey into Dreams.
Red Steel,
which
I feel
did
like
not
is
have.
Red Steel is still one of those. I
Red Steel
know it's more
was
of
a good. I've always heard Red Steel 2 is pretty good. Is like builds upon that.
It's the peak of Red Steel. Red Steel 2 is the peak.
Yeah, it's the fully realized version. But there was nothing like Red Steel when that came out. There was nothing like that when you had a game system and popped in a disc.
Not only what Richard said, it was.
They didn't fully execute, but there was so much there that was like Red Steel was not review bombed. It was not favorably looked upon and all that sort of stuff. But I would kill for something as unique and original as a Red Steel. Like we crave those types of experiences now because they're just kind of few and far between. That's a good pickup, Ramp.
Yeah, I mean, Red Steel 2 is it's the best one. He also uses with Wii Motion Plus, which is a lot more intuitive with the controls.
That added a lot to it. It's cell shaded, so it's gorgeous.
Oh yeah, I remember playing Red Steel back in the day, and just it was like you said, it was just so different.
Yeah,
it was so damn good.
Yep.
And then the last 5 here, dipping back into the 360.
Damn it, Brant. I could have talked about this for an hour, but I left that part alone. Fear.
We've got Fear.
Fear 2. There's like a Fear spin-off, I think, also for 360.
Star 3.
Fear Files.
Fear Files. That's what I'm thinking of, Cesar.
Fear Files, yeah. Next up, I remember you talking about this game not too long ago. Dante's Inferno for the 360.
That's a Series X back compat game too, so that's a great way to play that.
Mhm. And then
I believe those Sphere games are too.
Last but not least, we have Killer is Dead. An amazing title I'm looking forward to. Same people behind our No More Heroes and oh gosh, what is it? Lollipop Chainsaw and Killer 7, all that nonsense. And then last but not least, Blue Dragon.
Blue Dragon. You didn't have a copy of Blue Dragon?
Not have a copy of Blue Dragon.
Now you do. You righted the wrong. Fantastic. I think everything you got is backwards compatible, as a matter of fact. So while they will play,
it might be.
While they will play well in your 360, I think you have great versions to play. Sometimes with frame, what they call it, FPS boost and auto HDR and some other benefits of that. I mean, as we've been looking at some of this 20th anniversary 360 stuff, and I've been looking at list and backwards compatibility and stuff, it's kind of the reason to own a Series X at this point, outside of some of the live servicey stuff. But I mean, they were doing the Lord's work with that backwards compatible stuff when they were doing it. Good pickups, Brand. Good pickups.
Yeah, other than that, I think that's it.
Are we done here, ladies and gentlemen? Is this it before we get on to Battlefield? Play some Battlefield with the show.
Also, before I forget, I did buy Dragon Quest 1 and 2 on that sale for $49, so I can keep
nice.
I saw that on sale. You just wrapped up 3, so that's perfect timing. Yeah.
Yeah. I decided to just keep it on PlayStation because I think you can import your save and it gives you bonuses. So.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what you think of that, the 1 and 2 collection. Coming off of 3.
Before we jump off, I know we stayed late. We're about to play some games. Anybody has questions for me on the Elder Scrolls 5 claim thing on Switch before we leave? So I can broadcast it to everybody. We all understand what we need to do, right?
Go ahead.
Buy the you have Elder Scrolls. You buy the
upgrade is free. Upgrade is free. But it's stupid because you can't go in the store and just claim it unless you have a digital copy of it. If you have the physical copy of the game,
I have a physical copy. Walk me through it. I'm the right scenario.
If you have a physical copy,
yep.
If you have a physical copy of the Switch game,
okay.
The first thing you do is buy the DLC. Buy the $19.99 anniversary
$20
for that game
right now. Okay.
$20. Do not install it. Do not download it. Just buy it.
Okay.
Pop in your OG cartridge
in
your Switch 2. It's going to ask you to update it. Say yes. It's like a 15-minute update.
Okay.
Do not install the Anniversary Edition because it fucks up the claiming.
Just install the cartridge. Just pop it in.
Yep. And then
or update. I'm sorry. Update the cartridge. Yeah.
You have to own the DLC. Just don't install the DLC.
Okay.
For the Anniversary Edition.
Gotcha.
And you launch the game, and it's going to give you at the very top. It says, "Hey, you're entitled to get this game on Switch 2 since you're playing on Switch 2. Press X." When you press X, it takes you to the store, and then it'll show the Switch 2 version of that Anniversary Edition for Skyrim is free. You click on it, redeem it, and it starts downloading it. So what I wasn't sure was like, all right, do I have to keep putting my old cartridge in there to keep playing it? So when I didn't think you had to, because instead of like a lot of these games, what they do is they just upgrade the old Switch and put Switch 2 edition on there.
Right.
This one actually downloaded a separate Switch 2 version of an application. I was like, well, that's interesting. Let me try this. So I finished downloading. It took an hour to download. I took the cartridge out, and it launches right up without the cartridge. So I can play it on the go like I have a digital copy of the Switch 2 version of Skyrim.
Are you playing this one? Are you going to play this? Are you going to play this build?
I've got about an hour into it.
You made it through
that shit, man. I just don't talk about it. I made it to the Star Wars part where I had to choose Jedi and the Sith.
Yeah, I played some Star Wars Outlaws too. Well, I didn't talk about that one either. That game's awesome on Switch too. I want to say Rivendell, but that's Lord of the Rings. What's that first town you go to? Well, once you choose Jedi or Sith. I can't remember. The mill town.
Damn long.
I'm the tip of my tongue too. I just fucking played it.
It starts with an R.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
I was like, let me play this for a little bit, and I was like an hour into it, and it was like 3 in the morning.
People are listening to this yelling at us. How could you not know this? Riverwood? It's Riverwood, right? The mining
I think
town?
that's right.
Or the milling town? Yeah, people are yelling
You know
at
what?
us.
We'll live correct next week. We'll live correct next week. That's fine.
We
That's
must.
fine.
So that's a great tip. I may go ahead and do that if it's just a $20 digital SKU. That's already an upgrade for me, just having it digitally and not having to keep up with the cartridge. I bought that
Yes, that's
cartridge
it.
a long time
$20
ago.
Riverwood.
Riverwood. Yeah.
Riverwood. Yep, $20 and basically just get a free launchable digital copy that you don't have to. You just have to have 56 gigs free on your Switch. That's it.
Wow,
Switch
that's a big install.
Mm.
I wish I could transfer. They added this to The Witcher and they added this to Cyberpunk. I wish I could like transfer from, because my current furthest save is like the ROG Ally, the Steam version. So if I could like upload that somehow and pull that down on the Switch, that'd be pretty awesome.
Look into it. I know CD Projekt has done it on all their games. So I think friend of the show, Mark Knight, pulled
He
his
did.
save from Switch to the PS5. So
He did.
it's doable on that one. And then you can do that with Cyberpunk.
Yep.
I don't know on the Bethesda games. Technically, there's BethesdaNet, and that was supposed to be the solution, but that's been hit or miss. So who knows?
I'm gonna say you can't, but I can't confirm that. So that would be cool. That would be nice. Is that it for us, ladies and gentlemen? Stay around for us to stream some Battlefield 6. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this week, and we will catch you next week. Bye.
See you.
Adios.